All right.
Well, that was the oddest damn thing. I had to restart the whole computer.
Yeah, that is weird, dude.
And I did what Justin told me to do. Oh, just unplug the camera and plug it back in. Then
Oh, yeah, now it's my fault.
It was. Well, StreamYard didn't. StreamYard was like, what camera? And the stupid light wasn't coming on.
It's actually
Hey, Ron.
in the
Hot
manual,
Rod.
mate.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I was going to say, instead of being in the middle, a nice sort of compromise is west of the river.
What the hell are you talking
Thomas.
about?
Thomas, how are you, mate?
Jack Rabbit, Tomas, Justin, Ron, RL Photography.
RL.
Yeah, we got them. Well, let's hope they're back up. They're closed down. Okay, get rid of that. All right, let's say hello to everybody here. All right. Oh, Matt, what were you going to start off with?
Oh, dude. Look, man. The creams cleared the rash up. No, we're not. We're live now, aren't we? No, sorry,
yeah, not your nutsack.
Aussie humor.
Look, listen, right now, this is giving me the absolute shits because I saw an update of the price, right? I mean, we all know the 3's coming, right? I don't want to bang on about the Mavic 3 because there's so much shit about it. But, there's a lot of shit out there with photo leaks and all that sort of shit. It looks pretty cool. But I was watching this thing the other day about the price of this thing. Now, that's going to price it out of the consumer market, the main consumer market. It's looking at the professionals, man.
Yeah.
And we're looking at a roundabout for the Cine bloody pack that they've got of being around about bloody $6,000 Australian. Are you kidding me?
Because they're trying to throw in the Apple ProRes, I heard.
That's exactly right.
Which they were charging $1,000 for on the Inspire 2.
Yep. Now, this is what they're doing with this thing, right? Now, I wouldn't be surprised because they've got to replace that Phantom 4's camera, right? That's been out there for so bloody long.
And we've been bitching.
And I kind of hope, and I'm kind of guessing that it'll be a mechanical shutter because a couple of those specs, as we looked at before though, Jim, it just says mechanics, right? So,
well, Ron, you're a camera guy, DSLR guy. Every time you look at these specs, it's 1 to 8,000 shutter speed. But when you're looking at the new Mavic 3 Pro specs, it's 8-1 to 8,000. Oh. Or maybe Jay McCulley can answer that with you.
You're muted,
Ron. Microphone, Ron. Microphone.
Your voice is a little hoarse.
Yeah.
As in,
he's lost his voice.
You're not Mr. Ed. We can't actually see you.
No audio.
Nope. Can't hear you, bro.
Nope.
That's what I had. My camera
Plug
wouldn't
the
work.
phone and plug it back in.
Oh, for Christ's sakes. Jay, can you answer that? What in God's name is 8 over 1 to 1,000? 1 to 8,000.
Oh, there's Carlos. Chan.
Punch it into Google and see what it says.
Hey, Thomas, I'm going to answer that. Apparently, the $1,600 is just for the drone. No controller, no nothing. $1,600. Now, look, I can't confirm any of that, and who can? But this is just something that I saw yesterday.
No interchangeable lenses, all that crap.
No.
Now, are we talking about the Mavic 3 or the Autels?
Yeah, the Mavic 3. We didn't get to the Autel yet.
Hey, Mike Roach.
That was just something that I brought up because I found it rather ridiculous, the price of this thing. It wouldn't surprise me because you just got to look at like the Enterprise, right? Now, that's gone out of the consumer market, right? That's gone into another realm. And this thing here, unfortunately, I think is going to be priced above what we can look at as a mass consumer drone,
Can you hear me now, Joe?
Yes. What are your thoughts on that? You got any idea?
Give me those specs again.
Okay, normally your shutter speed is 1 to 8,000. That's the normal shutter speed of the X5
Right.
and the X5. But on the new Mavic 3 Pro, it says when taking photos, it's 1 to 8,000. But in the video department down below, it said, first of all, it didn't say mechanical shutter. It says mechanics, and then under that is electronics for shutter speeds. And it says 8-1 to 8,000. I've never seen that. Yeah, it is the shutter speed. But what's the 8 got to do with it?
That's what I'm wondering.
That's what I said. Punch it into Google and see if it pulls up any
let me
more
bring
detailed.
But
Yeah,
in the
there's
meantime,
4K, brother. My God. 4,000 bloody dollars. Look, I tell you what, and this is the problem with things like this, is because it's like buying a car. You can buy like three different models of the same car. You know,
Right.
Well, this one's got the upgraded stereo. This one's got this. This one's got that. And of course, you want to get the best you can. And I mean, probably the base model of this drone will be, you know, absolutely sufficient for a lot of people. But you know what? Oh God. If there's something better, I want it. If I'm going to spend that much money to spend a little bit extra, they always that's their bloody that's their sales department for you, you know.
So Jim, the Evolve isn't going to look nearly as expensive, is it?
No, and its original price at the show was $26.99
at the Evo.
The X Dynamics Evolve 2 with the interchangeable micro Four Thirds lens.
Yeah, it's $36.99 on the pre-order. So,
wow, that went up quite a bit. Or am I? No, I looked at that video the other. Didn't we look at that? Yeah, we looked at that video. I think it was $2,700.
The Evolve 2 right now on their pre-order site is $36.99 for everything.
And you know something else, Rod? That when I originally saw it, it had a thermal option too, which I don't see now.
Yeah, they haven't shown any of that, but the actual camera mount is a magnetic kind of thing. So it would be really easy for them to swap cameras, like the 20 megapixel that you keep asking me about. It's like, why didn't they have the 20 instead of the 12?
Well, the guy told me they had it.
Yeah,
that's why I bring it up.
Now, is this
you
Nano?
had choice. You had the 12 or the 20.
Is this Nano below 250 grams? Because they got a lot of sensors on this.
I believe so. I think
yeah, they said 249. That's what they said.
You know what? I was watching something the other day about the Hubsan Zeno Mini Pro or whatever they call it, right?
Yeah.
And what I don't like about it, I mean, Gizmo down in Melbourne's got one. It takes some pretty nice footage, but there's two models of it. Now there's no SD card slot at all, so you've got a 64 and a 128, right? This is onboard memory,
right?
So what I don't like about that is if you're out flying all day.
Oh shit!
And
I'm sorry.
You take a shitload of footage, and you lose your drone. You've lost the whole freaking day. Instead of coming down like I do, and I change my SD cards out, and off you go again. I don't like that onboard memory, Bizzo. You could lose.
Isn't it supposed to be a terabyte?
Well, I even heard yesterday that. Oh, hang on, what's this? The Evo?
No, I heard guys saying that the Mavic Pro 3 was
the Cine model on the Mavic 3.
Yeah,
I can't seem to find that, Jim.
All right, look, I'll find it in a second. But look at this on the screen, guys, especially Ron and Matt. Look at the look how nicely you can see my cursor.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Look at the RYYB sensor. That's red luminance blue. What the hell sensor is that?
So I actually have the answer to that.
You do?
Yeah, because I looked it up.
Okay, good. Great.
Go to
Thanks.
that. Go to that. Because Bill Thomas wanted me for his show tomorrow, and we were going to discuss these things. And I was like, I knew this was a question that everybody was going to come up with. So
Well, go ahead. What's the answer to the?
I gave in the private chat. I give you the link.
Okay, because it's not the regular CYMB or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. So that link shows the coloring and sort of explains pretty well.
Yeah, Bob, that's right.
What the
mate.
change?
Yeah.
What the change is? It's got a nice, pretty, colorful picture.
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
it
They
say
all say that.
4K? It says 4K 30 frames a second.
Yes, 4K 30.
Jim, I saw
Wow.
somewhere today. I think it was that. One of the Evos. I don't know if it was that Nano or not, but it talked about the 50 megapixel photos, and then it had also on there that had the non-pixel binning. Remember we had that discussion?
Yeah, that's the
Quad Bayer
light.
filtering.
Yeah, it's the Quad Bayer. It's the light, and it's the same thing on the Nano. So if you scroll down just a little bit, Jim, you'll kind of see it really is kind of the Quad Bayer that's on the Nano itself. So what you see there in that picture is all those green pixels. So normally it's RGGB. So the RYYB basically replaces the green with yellow. And according to what I read in some of this and a couple of other places, the yellow lets in about 40% more light. And yellow is what is green and red, right? So it's kind of both.
When you're talking about the DJI drones, they're YUV, so luminance red blue.
So the other thing that I read was the Huawei P30 in 2019 was one of the first cell phones to use this, and apparently,
you're right. A yellow filter.
The sense because the coloring is a little off, it requires a bit more processing on CPU to get the colors right. So that's probably the trade-off. So you wind up with more light on the sensor supposedly, but the processing is a bit more to get the colors right.
That is odd.
So, like I said, it was the Huawei P30 Pro in like 2019.
Whoa!
There we go. My personal desire.
Yeah. Where he talks about the stacked.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting because all of the high-end cameras now are all coming with stacks and doing the stack thing for the coloring. So it'll be interesting to see when drones sort of take that same thing on and how long it takes before they come to that and start using that sort of technology.
So we knew they were doing the Quad Bayer on the which one was that? The Mavic 2?
The Air 2.
The Air 2S or something like that?
No, the Air 2. The original Air 2 with the 48. Yeah.
40, yeah, that's the one.
So you'll notice that 50 megapixel is essentially the same thing. It's the Quad Bayer, just slightly bigger.
So it's not true 50 megapixel then, right? Because
that's never true. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, on the Air 2, it's not a true 48. It's
correct.
Well, I'm not going to get into it, but we could look at that Samsung 108 megapixel, and it would tell you how the sensor works. It's doubling itself.
But the difference being that they're using the RYYB, which should theoretically give it better everything if it's getting more light to the sensor, assuming they have the correct processing.
How's that going to work with your NLE? I don't know.
Yeah, good question. But if you wind up with something like the Air 2, but it's obviously not going to have low light like the 1-inch sensor, but if you can at least get that thing to the point where you can at least take maybe a little video after the sun goes down, that would be a heck of a lot better than the original Air 2. Because I literally wound up with the Evo 2 Pro 6K with the 1-inch sensor.
Right.
Because
Did you do some space shot in the night with that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But I wound up with that drone. Actually, the first drone I bought was the Air 2, because of Ron and all those guys in their show. I had been looking at the Evo because Flight Path, at his CES video, had shown the Evo, and he had done some other. He got his hands on it early and did some testing. So I was really interested in that one. But I went ahead and got that Air 2. But a year ago, July 4th. Obviously, the cities and stuff were shooting fireworks off, but I tried to throw that drone up to catch a little bit of fireworks after, and forget it. That thing is just crap. And literally July 5th, I ordered the Evo. I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah, Mike
and
Gross.
ordered the 1-inch sensor, and it boiled. Yeah, and it really boiled down to decision-wise for me. The Evo looked pretty similar to the Mavic 2 Pro, at least close enough that it was probably a toss-up, right? So in my mind, do I want to buy a drone that's 2+ years old, or do I want to buy a drone that's brand new that does the same thing, right? And so I went with the newer model of the same thing, right? Instead of going with the Mavic 2 Pro. And that's how I kind of wound up with the Autel.
These prices aren't coming down.
Let me.
The Mavic 2 Pro or whatever. What, Matt?
Well,
I thought the Mavic 2 would come down, but
probably will once the. But in all essence, right, you're still buying a freaking amazing product, even though it's that old.
Don't disagree. Don't disagree. But you also look at it from supportability, right? Which one's going to go out of support first? The one that's 2 years old or the one that's brand new?
It's the batteries.
Isn't this
Do you need more support? Go ahead, Ron.
I was going to say, isn't this Nano going to kind of, I guess, Autel's way of kind of replacing the Mavic Mini? I saw that video that Ken Dono did today. I don't know if you guys saw that. He grabbed the blades and the motors and ripped 2 of them out of his Mini at the beginning of his video, then threw the Mini across the room. Said, I'm done with you. So
here's how, Ron, I look at those 2 drones, because you have the Nano and then the Nano Plus, right? So the Nano is probably, it's priced sort of like the Mini 2, but I would say, maybe it's more of a Mini SE, a little above a Mini SE from a competition perspective. Although you look at some of the stuff they're doing with the sensors and stuff, you go, yeah, it's a little better. And obviously the Nano Plus is really aimed at the Mini 2, but it's kind of the Mini 2 with sensors, right? Which the Mini 2 doesn't have. So when you kind of look at it from that perspective, at the pricing, it's not bad.
Camera, aren't they, Rod?
Yeah, and so here's the other thing on that $799 on the Nano Plus. If you look, it is basically the same camera that was on the Air 2, right? So you're effectively buying an Air 2 that's under 250 grams. And everybody loved the Air 2, so why would you not love the Nano Plus having something that is, the reality is the camera is probably just a smidge better than what the Air 2 was, and 250 grams.
The only thing I don't like about Autel isn't they're not doing any kind of combo kits, though, right? Isn't that the price for just a drone and 1 battery?
Because they just announced the drones, that is yet to be seen, but they've had bundles for all their drones. Well,
right, one drone. But people were saying that price was just for the drone and 1 battery, like almost like a Mini.
I would presume that would be correct. And then they basically run 2 bundles. One is sort of the soft bag kind of thing, like DJI does, and then they have what they call their rugged bundle, which is the hard shell case.
Right, but saying that that's a non-fly more combo, that's pretty expensive compared
So
to
this is
buying a Mini 2.
Now, don't forget, you got your DJI lovers
Yeah,
and you got
but
your Autel Evo lovers.
Because I mean, honestly,
but go back to what I just said. Don't compare it to the Mini 2. Compare it to the Air 2 because it's effectively the Air 2 at 250 grams. That's effectively what that Nano Plus is.
The only thing I wish Autel would do is do something with their signal strength. I mean, I lost a
fixed in
throw at
these.
50 yards because of signal strength. It went into go home mode and did what it was supposed to do. It went into go home and it raised up to the altitude that it was supposed to, but it crashed into a tree.
Yeah, so that's probably the most interesting thing to all the Autel guys, especially the guys on the higher end that have like the smart controllers, because right now it's not looking like even the V2 smart controller may be compatible with these drones. And part of the thinking around that is on these drones, they've actually gone to a 3-channel. So they actually have 2.4, 5.8, and an oddball one, 5.2.
Yeah.
As the third signal. But to your point, it's supposed to be better than it'll probably be an OcuSync 3 kind of range kind of thing. But the other part of that is the video stream, instead of coming back to the remote or the phone, instead of being in 1080p, it's 2.7K. So
you got to admit, like I said, the Autel that I absolutely loved that camera. I mean, it had me pretty close to the Phantom 4 Pro camera. I mean, I really, really liked it. But you got to admit, to date, they have not come up with signal strength that is anything even compared to what was that light bridge that DJI used to have?
Yeah, the original light bridge.
Yeah, it's probably better than that. Honestly, I have the solution.
The new.
Well, I think my Phantom 4 Pro had the light bridge, if I remember right.
Yeah, and in fact, my Mavic, my Matrice has enhanced light bridge, where the Mavic 2 Pro has that OcuSync 2, and this OcuSync 3, all it is a decibel increase. Because what did we say, Matt? It was up to 31 dBi output on the controller.
That's 30.
I'll be back in a second. I'll show you the solution to that, Ron.
I've got the.
But in all honesty, I mean, and I've said it in the past, I don't give a shit that it can fly 15 Ks. I just want to know it's not going to drop out when it's 800 meters away from me.
Right.
So, that's all I'm worried about. And I mean, look, I don't know.
When I got 20 pounds in the air, I can't afford for that thing to be dropping. No, and that's what somebody was saying. The bigger drones are easier to fly. No. There's a much more bigger sphincter factor there.
Yeah, there is.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this thing to show off.
And we all know that it doesn't matter the size of the drone; the wind can still take it away.
There you go, Ron. There's the solution to what you asked.
The more expensive it is, the less stable it is.
It's a patch antenna on the front.
Yeah, it's the Alien Tech. It's a powered antenna. So it's not like the Four Hawks. It's non-amplified. This is an amplified antenna.
So that's an aftermarket.
Yep.
Yeah,
not cheap.
You have to send your controller to the company, and they.
There's a bunch of companies.
No, there's a guy up in Minnesota that does it. Covert Drones up in Minnesota. He'll do the mod for you. So you just send your remote up and he'll do the mod, and he'll order the Alien Tech and get all the adapters and get everything all set up for you. But that signal is stronger than 03.
These things snap in.
It'd be nice if they could make a module like that just plugged in, where you didn't have to actually modify the controller.
Well,
yeah, you know what the problem with that is? They're all being dumb about that connector for the antennas. Not sort of using a standard connector, just like you. Look at like Wi-Fi routers. You can literally like take the antennas off of almost any router and screw it on to almost any other router because they're all using the same connector. So why all the remotes aren't set up that way is beyond me. So that you can do it. The smart controller you would think would go ahead.
Talk about that guy from Minnesota. You know, why doesn't somebody like Autel, you know, put that type of product or component in their product? It does one thing. It makes their product better and more sellable. Why don't they do that?
Does it add another $350 to the price?
Hey, if it works, though.
Yeah, no. But you know what works better? What they did, which was change the chipset and go to the 3 channels. Just like what DJI did. I mean, there's nothing terribly special about OcuSync. It's still 2.4 and 5.8 Wi-Fi. It's just how you do that signal across the Wi-Fi.
Jim, you had that.
Stronger. What?
Yeah. Jim, you had that one show the one time where you talked about just how small and tiny the antennas are.
Yeah,
it's
only a piece of wire.
Little wire.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a 3-inch wire.
It's how it repeats itself. As Ian said, it's basically Wi-Fi, all this OcuSync stuff and all that, and how it repeats itself. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say in the U.S. that is all limited to 3 watts. That's the even all the routers, all the Wi-Fi routers are limited to 3 watts channel power. So it's not like you can just completely over wattage the thing.
Yeah, in fact, Hobby
to make it
got in
stronger.
trouble for selling something that had more wattage.
The Hobby Lobby?
Yeah, Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
So they're kind of all stuck in basically playing with antenna sorts of things.
Mm.
Oh, they're pushing the limits with the OcuSync 3 is like we said, 31 dBs coming out.
I think, isn't it 30?
Well, you and I looked at it. Now I have 28 and 26.
Yeah, 26 is 2, and 30's 30's the OcuSync 3. And on the air, the drone was 30, but the controller was 26. All right, so you had your OcuSync 3 on the drone, but the controller was an OcuSync 2.
And that Alien Tech is 30 to 33 dB, at least on the 2.4 one, which is the one that I have on there.
33, right? Okay.
So doesn't mean that it is. That's just what they have it rated at. As with everything coming out of China, right? Does it really match the spec that's on the paper?
Mr. JRC's, how are you, mate? Yeah, that's
Hey,
Mr.
Right. J.
That's what I'm saying. You know, there's nothing wrong with the controller the way it is, and going for distance is a little bit redundant these days. You know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is Autel trying to play? Are we over flooding this market here of nano
Don't say
drones?
that. Don't say that, because we're all whinging about the fact that DJI had a bloody stronghold on it,
Right.
and we want something else to come out, so we're not bound to that company. And we're getting options now, which is the best.
Finally, competition.
Yeah, and it'll keep these prices, you know, at a reasonable level.
Yep.
So the best thing ever is.
What happened?
Well, and two, we got to remember too, Autel's jumping into all these new drones too, so I'm not going to be the first one to buy one. That's for sure.
No.
Just see how they do, if they do pretty good. I mean, I have faith in them because they seem to have done really good with the Evos. So.
Yeah, mate. And to be quite honest, the technology that goes into the Evos go into every drone. You know, it's you know, they work on the same premise. Where's Hot Rod gone? I was going to ask him a question about his bloody Evo.
Hey, Jim.
Anyway.
Yeah.
He froze.
Not to change the subject, but I got to tell you guys a funny story. The thing I did today.
Go ahead, Rod.
came home from work came back to the apartment. And in our apartment complex, we have an underground parking. You don't have to park down there, but if you do, you pay for it. And I pay $75 a month. I come down there today, and once again, somebody's in my parking space, and it pissed me off.
Yeah.
So I parked in my coworker's spot just for a couple of minutes. I come in here just to drop a few things off, and then I had some errands to run. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to write this jackass a letter. So I actually come up. I couldn't find any paper, so I pulled out a giant paper towel, and I wrote on this note. I said, "Hey, moron, I pay for this spot." And I said, "Stay out of it." And I said, then I wrote, "Next time I'll tow it out of here by myself." So I leave, and I go out to the other end of the complex, and I actually called the rental office manager, and it was on the phone with her. All of a sudden, this guy in this truck comes flying up beside me, parks in the parking space beside me, and I see him holding this paper towel, and I'm like, holy shit, that's the guy that parked in my spot. And he goes up to the rental office, and the office is closed, and he's pacing. And I told the lady on the phone, I said, I got to go talk to this guy. So I get out of my truck, I walk over, and I said, hey, is the office door closed? And he goes, yeah, it is. He's really mad. I said, well, what's the matter? You seem upset. He goes, yeah, some son of a bitch wrote me this damn letter. And I'm like, let me see it.
Well, why would he do that?
So the guy shows me the paper towel. I'm like, what kind of an asshole would write something like this? I don't know, but I'm going to find him, goddammit. This guy has no clue. That was my parking space. He probably will next time he sees me parked in there. But
right on, Ron.
Yeah,
well, does he work there or something like? Don't he have his own sign?
He lives here at the apartment complex, but people will do that sometimes. They get in down there. I don't know how they get in because you have to pay to get a garage door opener. But he got in. It turns out apparently somebody was in his spot, so he just thought it was okay to park in somebody else's. But the thing of it is, he was mad as hell that I wrote that note and put it on his windshield. And then the sheer fact that I go up and start talking to him, and I'm like, what kind of an asshole would write a nasty note like this? I don't know, but I'm going to find him.
I've seen a lot of people that would park behind him so that he can't get out. Now he's got to wait for you. He wasted your time, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But it was everything I could do to keep from busting a gut laughing right in his face.
Well, this is the thing. He had no right to get pissed off anyway. I mean,
he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah, he should have said, oh, shit.
Am I going to get away with this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually they have a few open spaces, don't they, in these places?
They usually do, but they're right this time of year, they fill up quick because the winter is coming and people do not want to have their vehicles outside.
Yeah, especially up there when it gets damn cold up there.
Well,
if you don't have a heater block, you're screwed.
I know.
I knew a guy in Virginia. He always had that cord coming out of his radiator where he plugged it into the house. So it was a heater.
What's that called, Jim?
It's a radiator. You know what a radiator is.
He's from the East Coast, Art. I call it that too.
Same as his washer.
Washer?
That's right.
Or the draw.
You say Brady.
I'll tell you what, if that Evo Nano turns out to be half decent, I'll probably sound like an Adrian, but I'm probably going to go out and buy it. Something that small to keep in a backpack. And
yeah.
Dude,
Here's the thing. What's it replacing for you? What's it? Because you got a lot of stuff.
I only have one drone, though.
No, but DSLR-wise.
Oh, that I have, yeah. But just to have a small compact drone to if I want to just take it out,
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
My suggestion would be the Light Plus.
The Light Plus.
Which is basically the Air 2S with the 1-inch sensor. Because then you've got a smaller that can also do low light.
Hang on.
Right.
It's got a 1-inch sensor. What?
The Light Plus, which is the medium size, which is basically the same as the Air 2S. So it's a 1-inch. The Light doesn't have the 1-inch.
Like I said, I've always been very pleased with the Autel's cameras. Never had a complaint about them.
Yeah, the Light Plus is basically the same camera that's on the Evo, the 6K, the Pro
Well,
6K.
the main thing with Autel is it's getting their manufacturing up.
Rod, do
The
you know, are
past-
they going to implement the screen in their controller just like their old ones?
Right now, everything that we've seen, the controller for both those drones is more like an Xbox PS5 gaming controller with no screen.
No screen.
Like the Pro.
Hey, Jim, you
Okay.
got 2 or 3 new people in the chat.
Do you guys notice the screen going out on you? I know when Rod said his internet blinked or something, 4 of you guys went off the screen and were swirling there.
Grab a coffee.
It looked fine on mine.
Block heaters. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
So the other part, back to our earlier discussion on pricing, this includes the Mavic 3, right? TSMC, who's basically the largest chip manufacturer on the planet, raised their prices over 15% for everything. And Global Foundries, who used to be AMD until they got spun out, did the exact same thing. So literally anything that requires silicon that's being made, the prices jumped a bunch to all the manufacturers. I mean, you kind of even see that in, look at the Apple 13, the iPhone 13, right? You know, it went up, what, $50 or something like that? That's probably their material cost difference, if not more. What it probably, and they probably have slightly less margins than what they had before.
No, I didn't. Mr. JRCs, what do you got here? Ever had an issue rendering in 4K 60? The file was 3 gig and it was choppy on my computer. I used one shifter. Is it okay? It's choppy on your computer while you're doing the edit. Is that correct? Is that what you're getting at there? And after render, is the file choppy or is it smooth? Just that's.
What's your GPU?
Rendering in 4K 60.
Because Matt's is better than mine. I've only got a 1060. He's got a 1080. And we were looking at each other's, and his goes a lot faster. No stuttering or chopping.
Actually, I'll see what you're saying here. Okay, so he has rendered. Okay, he has rendered it by the looks, and it's only 3 gig. Yeah, well, the size of the what are you playing it on, mate? What media?
Like VLC or something
like
that?
Yeah. I can't even get the word out. Yeah, what are you playing it on? Because I have had issues in the past with my Windows media player playing choppy shit for some reason. And I upgraded all the drivers and all that sort of poo, and it was all right. It turned out all right.
My Windows media player and even my MPC home cinema HC MPC player sometimes won't play things, and I have to revert to VLC. I got to admit, VLC has never let me down as a media player.
It does, but I don't like the color that it produces. VLC. It's not really representative. This is the edited footage, which looks a little bit better than what he's put some noise reduction in there by the looks of it, which gets rid of the blotchiness.
Is it too blue, or is it just my screen?
Yeah, no, it's not too blue here.
I think it's your screen, Jim.
We're seeing junk on this. We're going through StreamYards and then YouTube, and God knows what compression we're getting.
Well, the videos always look like shit on our end if you're the one that's hosting and showing the video. It always looks better.
But this isn't too bad for a little tiny drone. Little bit mushy, as you're going to you can't expect it to be perfect in the darks there, but it does a reasonably good job. Now, this is the Hudson Zeno Mini Pro.
It's just soft at the bottom part.
That's right. And the dark bits there. I mean, there's a massive look for the money, and this is what he was doing. It. He won't be flying low light. He just wanted to test it out.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful skyline, though.
Yeah, and God bless you if you've got a skyline like that.
Well, that's the thing too. If you're flying in a city that's lit up like that, you can get some nice night videos. But if you're out in the middle of nowhere, it's just going to look like pitch black.
Don't you find it funny that Dobo, when he does his after darks, is always downtown Tampa?
That's all he's got.
Yeah, I know. That's a little bit of a drive from where he's at, because I think he's up north, so he's got it.
Yeah, he's in Silver Springs.
Yeah, he's probably got a 20-minute drive to get down there. But he's always going down there because, well, it's lit up like this. As I say, this is kind of cheating. It's night, but it's not really night.
Peter Carroll.
What do you mean?
Lots of artificial light.
Oh.
Any drone alerts.
From the buildings and everything else being lit up.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. That's there's a lot of dark spots in it, which can test your camera out. You've got the artificial light, sure, but you've got a lot of darks there too, and this is where that camera starts to get a little bit mushy. And it's the same with the Mavic Pro, the first one. That camera's bloody horrendous when it comes to low light. That really stuffs things up. I didn't like it.
You were telling me that. I can't believe that.
Don't know. Well, I didn't like it at all. And as I said to you, Jim, I think the Mini 2, I like the picture better than what came out of the Pro. The first Pro, not the second one, obviously.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me say hi to NLE Drone List and Max Air 420. I've seen Max Air around, but
New England Drone List.
So, Ron, going back to your question earlier, nano versus light, do you need low light? If you don't need low light, then the nano would be perfectly fine for what we're doing. It's kind of what Marcus last night on Duration said. He's always flying in the middle of the day out there to Snake River Canyon. So sensor size and everything else that kind of doesn't matter when you're always flying in bright sunlight.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
probably do 90% of my flying in good strong light. But
what do you have for stars? I mean, I know you're not getting the northern lights or anything, but you get a lot of clear skies. You do get some northern lights?
Mm-hmm. Oh, up in here in North Dakota, we do, yeah.
So, anyways, in that case, the 1-inch sensor would be better if you ever thought you were going to do some of that. The advantage of the Autel over like your Mavic 2 Pro is no geofencing.
Mine sucks too because there's absolutely nothing of interest to see here.
I'd like to try sometime, boy, if I ever got the opportunity with the
share that, Jim.
The Mavic 2 Pro, and use that hyperlight feature. If I got the northern lights up here,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would. What is that? Oh, it's a seagull.
You got a little bit close.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Whoop, there's another one.
Look at them. They'll attack you, man.
Yeah, dude.
I had a blackbird today that I was a little nervous about because he was flying at about the 400 feet that my drone was flying at, and I saw him in the camera, and he was pretty close, and I kept looking to go, God, I hope he doesn't circle back and attack it.
Flying Rhino drones, how's it going, man?
Sunday, when I flew my Tiny Hawk 2 freestyle, I was editing the video, and I noticed there was a hawk that flew around my drone a couple times.
Oh my God, that little tiny hawk is gonna look like a little rat or something to that thing. I'm surprised it didn't go get it.
He flew around your drone. I'm surprised he didn't walk around it.
Yeah, because you beat the shit. You beat the shit out of that drone in the playground, shooting gaps. That poor guy with you did more work.
I'm just looking at this footage here. I'm not a fan now. There's jello in this.
Oh, Jim, you got somebody from the Philippines watching. You're getting some new people in here. You got 3 people without wrenches in here.
Oh,
Flying Rhino.
Magadan Umaga. Flying Rhino. Drones
quite
on.
some time. Flying Rhino. He's
Max there, I know him. I've seen him in other streams, but the other 2 I've never seen.
That's got so much jello in it. Wow.
What is this? This is Hudson Xeno Mini Pro. This is the new one, right?
Yeah.
It's the red one, I think, wasn't it? Wasn't the Pro the red one?
Matt, you were saying about Jello in there, but I guess keep in mind, this is, like I said, through StreamYards, through YouTube.
No. This is on my screen. This is on my screen, mate. So this is just YouTube, right?
Oh, okay.
You're seeing it different because it's going through all that crud. I mean, it's a sharp enough sort of picture. It's a little bit blurry here and there. It's not as it's not as sharp as I've seen, and it's got jello in it.
Did you read what
Jello
Carlos?
pudding pops.
Did you read what Carlos put, Jim? Something about an illegal flying or something?
Yeah, I was going to play that in a second. But first I want to get Gary at Brant Aerials put up some 4K Ontario.
That's a nice beach right there.
Yeah, that's in Melbourne, Victoria.
You guys do have some nice coastlines there, though, in Australia.
Yeah, they got some beautiful spots.
But most of you, like 80% of your population's crammed up against the coast, though, right?
Yeah, they are.
90% within 30 miles.
Yeah. Well, 80% of the entire world population lives near water, I think they said.
Damn, seagulls are close.
Yeah, dude. I would have brought that back. That spooks me, that shit. Even
seagulls are the worst. Seagulls are the worst. The other birds, not so bad. Seagulls tend to be aggressive.
You know what? I haven't had any trouble with seagulls. I've had a lot of trouble with sparrows. They don't give a shit.
Oh,
yeah.
You can
little
punch
bird.
that thing. You punch that thing up to 400 to get away. 2 seconds later, they're up there with you. Little mongrels.
Don't feel bad flying Rhino. I flew my Mini 2 right into a fucking stadium light, so.
Oh, we've shown that. We've had a couple of people do that. Oh, remember poor who was that? Ron Brown? He was in the parking lot, and the damn thing hit the light pole. Boom.
Oh,
gone.
Well, that was the thing, is when my Mini 2 hit the ground, it didn't even look like it even hit hard. It was the hit from the fucking light, because it went into the light, came back out, and then it swung back into the light again, and then it folded one of the arms, and then it fell.
What is the drone? It's under 250, and it's got front and rear sensors.
Yeah,
Which
the
one?
Xeno Mini Pro has sensors. Apparently, everybody's saying they don't work very well.
Well, okay.
Surprise.
So we'll see how well the Autel ones work, right? If it's basically the same sensors it's on the 2 Pro or on the Evo 2, then one would think that the software would work pretty decent.
You know, I was telling Matt the other day, I don't know if you guys have ever had your drone get into trouble, but that APAS saved my ass one time. You forget you have APAS, but I was in amongst pine trees. The drone stopped because it had the sensors. It figured itself out and backed itself out and up. There's an admission for you. Yes, Jim screwed up.
Yep. Again, flying Rhino drones. Yes, they are the swallows, mate. I'm kind of guessing they got the same thing over there. Yeah, they're mongrels. They don't give a damn.
Yeah.
What was that little bird that got you, Ron? Put your Mavic into a tree.
Yeah. He was just like a little, I don't know, a little sparrow or whatever.
Yeah, exactly right.
But he took his life, though. committed suicide.
Yeah.
You know, here in Florida, we have those pelicans, and God help you if a pelican ever hits your damn drone. I don't
Those
care.
things
You're
are
not going to get
huge.
it. You're not going to get it back, and the pelican's not even going to notice that he got hit.
Those pelicans are huge, man.
Yeah, huge.
Mhm.
Well, that little Tweety bird here, he took his life. You know, the only reason I find it so funny because I did get the drone back unharmed. But man, I just saw an explosion of feathers.
This
Yeah.
is Gary Brant Aerials in Ontario. I don't know what he's using. I didn't see. This is up in 4K though, so it looks a little better. And you can see that the trees at the bottom are good, so it's not the Hubsan Mini Xeno Pro 2000.
Mhm.
I'm not hearing good things about that.
Let's see what Carlos was talking about. in
They
that
used
video.
to have real software problems. Yeah, I'm going to get to that one Carlos was
Apparently,
talking
still
about.
do.
I remember when that thing wouldn't stay in place after you push a slide to just take it up to 10, 15 feet to start it. I remember when it wouldn't even stay there. I don't know why, haven't they been copying the other guy's footage and stealing from the other companies? Oh, Gary says this is an Air 2S.
So that's a 1-inch.
Really? I hope that's the internet. Probably is.
Are you trying to say Gary's video sucks?
No, the video looks great. I don't think it's up to his standards. Though.
No. No.
You love starting it, Justin.
Gary, it's not only your microphone, mate. No, I won't go there.
All right, now listen.
A2S.
What would you say? What would you say to a new drone flyer? This is his first time posting.
Use the wand.
Yeah. There's plenty of wands.
That'll fix all your drone footage.
And this is
Well, first off, never land your drone in sand.
Second off, fly closer to the boobs. They were right in front of you and you missed them.
Now, this was the one that, this was the video
He's
Carlos
flying
was
over
talking about.
people.
Yeah. What laws are being broken here?
Not
Flying over
many,
people.
mate. Not many. He's got good AGL, which is
And there's a bird flying across here.
yeah, probably don't do that.
Granted, yes, he is breaking laws, but honestly, I don't see the fucking problem with doing this.
With the new current stuff where you can sort of do the transiting, right? I'm not so sure that doesn't qualify as transiting.
No, go ahead, Jay. Make an announcement.
Well, where's he transiting to though? Over everybody
Yes.
before his battery runs out and then he flies back again.
Yeah, but he's not over one person any more than a second or two. So
No, he's not.
Oh god, now
Maybe
we
it-
got shit started in the chat.
I'm not
although I'm with
saying
Matt.
anything anymore because nobody cares about. Chris would say, Jim, just shut up already.
Granted,
I'm kind of with Matt. I fly in these situations. I actually go out over the waves, and then you can turn it back towards the beach and fly sideways.
Well, yeah, because honestly, on some beaches they're so crowded that you literally will have to fly over somebody in order to get
for
out
sure.
over the water.
Yeah,
So like I said,
exactly.
And they do say sparsely populated areas. Now, I'm not gonna bitch about anything because I actually like the way the water's coming in, color wise.
There's as the people disappeared. Look, you can look at the rules and do whatever and blah blah blah. You're probably right. There's nothing wrong with doing that because unless something, I don't even know what he's flying there.
I don't know either.
I probably wouldn't have flown like that. And as I said, like you said there, I would have gone over the water a bit until the crowd popped. But
Yeah.
that would have
been
Go over the water, fly sideways. No big deal.
It's the
Yep.
dude's first time. Okay.
Yeah.
Did the FAA mail him and say, "Hey, we have a trust knowledge thing here," or this is what I say about the FAA: if they're not going to educate people, which they do not. Okay. Who knew that last week was Drone Awareness Week?
Was it?
It was. I saw it posted somewhere.
Was it really?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Totally missed Drone Awareness Week. That's a good job, FAA. You did a great job there getting that out to the public.
But see, like Matt said, though, he had a talk with him. So obviously, he's a very new flyer. So Matt
Brand
did
new.
what he
First
should have
video.
done.
First
Matt
video.
did what he should have done as a good friend, and he talked to him, and that's it. I mean,
But this is the problem, right? And this is why all these bloody rules and shit are coming in and all that. A lot of people who do get drones aren't aware of what the requirements are, and they just
the FAA is doing nothing. Does
And,
CASA do anything over there, Matt?
but let's talk.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, they
let's
do.
talk about the video that Philly put up a couple weeks ago where he was flying around the boat harassing the people in the boat. And he was only like 15, 20 feet from them doing orbitals around their boat.
Really?
So
Yeah.
Oh, is that
that's what
where
I'm
the
saying.
guy threw the bottle at him?
Yeah, and this is the thing is if
Holy shit.
you've been in this thing that long and you're still doing videos like that, then I understand getting on somebody about it. But when you're pretty much new and you thought, okay, this was a fun, cool little video, I flew over the beach, I understand that. But he also had a friend that talked to him, said, hey, you shouldn't do that. And as long as
Ultimately,
he listens, there's no
As long as he
reason to be
learns from
upset
it.
with him. Yeah, there's
it's
reason to be
ultimately
upset
like
with him.
anything being human, right? It's like don't do things that annoy other people.
Let's not
do you-
castrate him. I mean,
Well, something, and here's another thing. Let me see if I can pull this up. In addition to this bull crap, there are additional drone laws for every state, whether you want to like it or not. What do I have it under? Documents. Here's one. Okay. Oh, Jesus, like you can read this. But Florida, each little town, like Cape Canaveral, is a major port for Disney. Okay. So they've got their own little laws. You all know that the 3 mile TFR around Disney World or whatever.
Hey, Dan.
But these are all these different laws that they made back from 2013. Here's one from 2004. You can't take off or land on district lands unless authorized by a special use authorized. This is from the Florida Congress, House of Representatives. So what is a district land? I don't know what that is.
Hey, Jim, you want to hear something interesting on this conversation? Probably 3 weeks ago, I was in South Daytona flying. Well, it was a nice parking spot with an empty lot next to me, sort of flying the sunrise at the beach. And as I'm doing it, and I'm literally sitting on my car as I'm flying the drone, a state highway patrolman pulls up, and it was after I had landed, actually. And he pulls up and he goes, I hope you're not flying in the state park. And I'm literally standing there kind of thinking, okay, what state park? There's literally no state park, and the freaking ocean is not a state park. So what are you talking about, buddy? And so I just pointed at the empty lot next to me and said, no, I was over there flying. Just to go, okay, whatever. Because I didn't really want to get into him with hello. I have the app, got the link approval. It says the FAA says I can fly here, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about. The only thing I could think of was that he misinterpreted the whole national park, right? And that you can't fly over national parks, but he just happened to say state park. But where I was flying at, which is South Daytona. It's like ain't neither one of those anywhere near me where I was standing, kind of thing. But that was a Stady pulled up. Here's the funnier part about the whole thing, Jim. I'm parked next to a no parking sign. He didn't even ask me about the no parking sign. That would have been the one thing that he could have actually legitimately asked me about. Instead, he was talking about the drone. I'm just thinking, buddy, you need to actually go learn the rules, because I don't know what you know, but you've obviously got something confused.
And here's
Congratulations,
the thing.
Ron.
It's up to us to help these guys out, right? How are they going to know there's rules? Honestly,
yeah, and I literally should have pulled the phone out with the Aloft app and go, here you go. Mm-hmm. It says I can fly, and here's the altitude restriction. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen, there are so many guys that walk up to you. I had one. I'm a pilot. You shouldn't be doing that. I said, I'm a pilot. I'm doing it. You get aggravated after a while. After so much contact with the public, you actually get aggravated with them.
Mm-hmm. What constitutes a pilot, though, Jim?
Yeah.
Let's not get on this again. Congratulations, Ron, by the way, from what Jay McCauley wrote in the chat.
So, Jim, I had 2 incidents up at Flagler Beach. That's the only place I've had the incidents where I had people come up to me and kind of be all grumpy, mad kind of thing. Ever since those 2 incidents, because I am retired from the Army, I always make sure that I wear either my hat or my shirt with the retired Army stuff on it. And literally nobody gives me any BS, because they're like, that's a veteran, that's a vet flying, and they literally just don't mess with me then.
Does that work?
Did you put up?
It does for me. I wear my retired Army stuff, and people just, with everything that's going on, thank you for your service, all that kind of crap. I guess it keeps the annoyed people from being so annoyed.
Jim, did you put up Jay McCauley's announcement?
Yeah, it's kind of way up in the chat.
I just tell people Agent Orange happened to me.
I'll be getting married on October 9th to Lockwood. He has agreed to be my wife. Well, that's going to be an estranged marriage since he just moved to Wyoming.
Where the men are men and the sheep are scared.
The sheep know it, damn right.
Mm-hmm.
See, here you go. Flying in the Philippines. Here in the Philippines, cannot take off from any government land without permits, but I have no problem if I take one step away from the gate and fly over their land. Now, that's the same as a national park,
Yeah, it is. Exactly.
What is the difference? Oh, God. Shit, man.
If it's me, I appreciate the brutal honesty. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me.
I don't know. I don't think I really want a Stady rolling up behind me and going, I hope you're not flying in a state park, when there's like no state park within 20 miles of where I'm standing.
You know what the bitch is about here? We have Fish and Wildlife, FWC.
Yeah.
And they're real police.
Yeah.
Jim, put Mike Roche's comment back up there. That was hilarious.
The wheelchair gets me a pass.
There's probably 2, Mike.
I'll start drooling if I have to.
Yeah.
So I guess you want to.
That's what I do with my crutches. I just go around, Timmy.
Mike McReynolds, what's up, buddy? How are you doing, man? I don't want to get personal on you.
So anyways, I think my retired Army stuff probably works better than having those, pilot whatever with the vest and those kinds of things.
Yeah, see, that the look don't hurt either. Like he says, I'm 6'1", shaved head, tattoos, big beard. The Chris Hope look.
Well, yeah, that would probably work too. Yeah. That's why they don't mess with Ron, right?
Oh, they mess with me.
Dude, I've never heard
Jim,
you.
I got to take off. Got to get ready for, get up early for work. Thanks for having me. And Matt, great seeing you. Good day, mate. Hot Rod, good seeing you as always.
Yes, sir.
Justin, Ron, and Big Jim, have a great evening.
We'll see you
Good night,
later.
y'all.
Good night, Art.
Night, Art.
Take care, Art. See you, mate.
I think he got a new job, is what I was talking about.
Oh, Jesus.
Third Eye View. What's up, Blind Neil? FSU grad, how you been? I knew Mike. Oh, okay, I'm doing a lot better. Getting by, still some. All right, good to hear. You know who else? I haven't heard from Ed. Love my drones. Anybody?
Yeah, that's right. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a little bit.
Carlos keeps in touch with him.
I talked
Well,
to
he's
him.
like 30 minutes north of me.
I asked Carlos. He said he was still alive.
Flying Rhino. This is a good thing too. It usually attracts a crowd of children. Always show them the views from the phone. People are pretty amazed when they actually see what the drone's looking at.
Yes.
You know, they think, oh, he's just a whatever. They don't even think, and they wonder why the hell we're doing it until they actually look at the footage and go, oh shit, it's a different perspective, one they've never seen before, unless they jump in a helicopter.
So
It helps me for when the people think I'm being a pervert and looking at them in the pool from 200 feet up. Honey, I'm not seeing you, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what happened to me the other night? I actually got recognized by 2 people at work that knew my
Really?
channel. Locals, yeah, they were just local people.
Local
Cool.
cops?
No.
Did they handcuff you? Did they rape you in the woods?
Jesus.
So, Jim, one of the things that I have for my Autel, and actually I just did it this weekend, is I have the live deck. And I have the live deck attached to, oh God, what the heck is the name of that display? I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, it's a 7-inch 2200
The
nit.
triple tech you got?
No, it's not a triple tech. It's an actual free world 2200 nit display monitor. It's an HDMI with 2200 nit. So I set it up on a tripod and connect
2200.
Yeah, it's 2200. It's only like $235 on Amazon for that one.
And now you got to put guardians on that.
That's
Feel
really
World.
good.
What's it called?
It's called Feel World. It's a display monitor that's normally used in the camera world, so that a director can sort of look over the camera guy's shoulder and sort of see what the hell the other guy's shooting at. But that's what it's for. But anyway, so I use that with my live deck, and I set it up on a tripod so that when I'm flying down at the beach, that setup there, people can literally just walk up and see what I'm seeing. And I've sold I don't know how many drones that way. It just absolutely gets people just hooked. It goes,
probably not.
God, I got to get one of those.
You know, the people that will come up and say, "Oh, you're spying on me or invading my privacy." Here, why don't you take a look?
Look there.
See if you can see you in the screen. you know. Yeah. I bet you that would answer a lot of people's questions.
It would answer a lot of questions, and it does. They can literally see what I'm seeing, and generally, if they were going to be hostile, they're not going to be hostile after they look at the view because they're getting to see all the sunrise from 400 feet up.
On the video I have posted, I have one guy, my neighbor directly across the street from me, in the driveway with me, looking at the video. The drone is about a half mile away, pointed back at us, looking at us in the driveway, when that man and his wife come down the street screaming and saying, "You pervert, you're looking at it." So we were like, what the hell is he talking about? Then, of course, the neighbor who was looking at the screen just walked away. He's like, "Oh, I want no part of this." You know,
Jim, I put a link in the chat to that monitor he was talking about if you want to pull it up on Amazon. It's 200.
Yeah, so you know, it works well with the live deck, but you can what I've done for the DJI is I've got one of the wireless dongles, HDMI dongles. It's sort of the wireless connect, like you can do with your TV. And so then I can stream my do the wireless connection off the tablet over to that device, so that I can actually do my DJI ones if I want to do it as well.
Hey Jim, I gotta pop out, buddy.
All right.
I gotta head to work.
Rod, is
Hey.
that the correct one?
Mine, I think, is the 7-inch. So that's why
Thanks,
that price
Ron.
is down in that price.
All right, see you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, they have
But
a
it-
bunch
but-
of different sizes.
Yeah, but it's those guys. Take your pick on size and nits and all that kind of good stuff. But it's a cheap screen.
What is
So-
it on this one? Is it all the same no matter the size? Or?
No, they have like a 2600 nit one too. They probably have a 3000 nit one by now.
I've got a 12-inch TV in the back of the car that works off an inverter.
Sure.
Just a cheap piece of crap TV.
But you notice you can even put 3D LUTs on that thing.
Well, I would do that only when calibrating.
Yeah, what if you're shooting in log? So on your tablet,
If
when
you're
you're shooting in
shooting
log,
log-
it looks flat. So if
No,
you
it
ran that
doesn't.
through something like that, you'd have the LUT on top of it.
Not
Come
on the DJI, the Crystal Sky. You're shooting log. That's the problem. You're shooting in log, but you're seeing it normally colored.
Tomas said that's the basic one that they have a pro model. So that's
Yeah.
probably the one Rod has.
Yeah. It was like $235 and like 7 inches at
For
2200 nits.
$35 more, though, I mean, that's not a bad. might
They're
as well
showing
go
you the
with that one.
small rig outfit on it that holds it and all that because these are all quarter 20 threads. Thank God it's
Jim.
an industry standard to have quarter 20s on there.
So
Hey,
anyways,
Jim,
these were designed for the camera industry, but it works for what we want to do.
Yeah, but sometimes you can find products in other industries that work really well for what you might be doing in another.
Oh, hell
industry.
yeah.
You know what I really like about using this display though? So when I'm using the live deck with that display, there's no app UI. It is basically you're seeing exactly what's on the card because there's literally nothing else on the
Alright.
screen other than the video.
Let's go and tell them what the hell the live deck is for people who don't know.
Expensive.
A new mortgage.
It's $450 for the live deck.
Hey Jim,
I
when
see
you
that
when
works
you
well.
when you're filming in log with the Go 4 app, you can actually watch it in log if you want.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
that little fucking thing up the top there.
And
Chris, what up?
you can turn the HDMI on and off. You can also lower, it can go up to 10 megabits a second, or you can lower it down, the signal coming back. I don't know if everybody can do that. I just know that that's available on the Crystal Sky and the Ascendance controller. It's on the app, so it's got to be, everybody's got it on the Go 4 app, where you can turn your signal down from being a 1080p signal to like a 720p signal. Well, what do you need a great signal for? You know,
Yeah.
you don't need better than 720 when you're filming.
No, you
Bob
don't need that
Casey.
high res.
What's up?
Whoops.
You got Chris Hope and Bob Casey just popped.
Did you find the live deck, Jim?
Bob Casey's been here. Brother
Yeah,
Bob.
I had a little bit of that.
understand.
I had a little bit of a look at that. What is it? Skyreach or whatever it is. The no Triple Tech. Sorry, Skyreach.
Yeah.
Yeah, the triple tech.
Last Saturday when Ari came over, he brought it with him, and that looked pretty good, pretty damn good. But the only
So-
problem is when you plug it in, it's charging my bloody charger.
Oh, yeah.
Shits me.
So he needs this to stream, where out of like the Phantom 4, you can come out with your HDMI plug and put it into a 7-inch or a TV or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know why Autel doesn't have that.
It really surprises me that none of the drone guys the live deck is a great concept. It is what it is because it's really targeted at fire and safety and all of that, and police, where they're trying to put it into their display monitors and their
And
mobile
multi-screen.
things and all that kind of thing, multi-screens and all that kind of stuff. So that's why it probably is like this instead of a dongle. But there's like no reason, because this has got HDMI, Ethernet, and everything else, that it's just like, you know what they really need? They just need a dongle.
Yes.
With like HDMI, that's just a single antenna kind of thing, picking that signal up,
Yes.
pumping it into your laptop or any other device. And it's like, they could make a dongle single port antenna kind of thing for probably under $200.
That was supposed to be coming. That pisses me off greatly.
They all should have it.
Yes.
It's a great way to, because all the live deck does is just pick up the signal, right? It doesn't even talk to the drone. It just picks up the signal that's in the air and just pumps it through HDMI, Ethernet, or whatever you want.
A couple of screens.
Yeah.
And the internet and live stream, right?
Yep.
All in one.
Yep. And that's the other beautiful part of it is, so it's got HDMI out, right? So, if I wanted to stream it to anything, I could connect it to like one of the Elgato adapters.
Elgato.
Yeah, the Elgato, which then you can, it basically looks like a webcam to your PC, which means you can stream it anywhere to any app, to any platform.
I do like that feature of it. Yes, it can stream like that and show on a monitor at the same time.
Yep. Which means you could pump it to OBS, right?
Yes.
And then send it anywhere you want to as well. The live deck, it's expensive for the consumer, but it does allow you to do some interesting things that you can't do otherwise.
I saw the first person I ever saw with that. I don't know if you know him. Garrett Brill, Bryl.
Mm-mm.
Okay. He does a lot of EMS reviews.
Ah, gotcha.
Where he works for fire department, and they basically built a TV in the back of the truck, which these guys all sell now as a commander case or something like that. For
right. And that's what the live deck is designed to kind of plug into, right? The live deck will pick it up, and you run HDMI into that command device that then is got multiple, 4 or 5 video outs to go to multiple screens and all that kind of stuff, like in a command truck, police command truck kind of thing.
It is multi-purpose, and for that, I'll give it kudos, because of course with our HDMI port, we can only go to one object. We have SDI, so like a news truck could feed into it, but other than that, no.
But anyway, so that live deck, because of the way it's basically a remote with an HDMI out, which gives you the flexibility to do almost anything because it's HDMI out.
I don't like the price though.
No, I would agree. I don't like the price either. That's why they need a cut down version that is only HDMI.
Hey, Brad, what did he found a new font for Drone Kings in Darwin. The AU doesn't show the flag. It just says AU.
Well, it doesn't either.
No. That stinks.
Oh, Brad. He's supposed to be getting his ass here. I just saw he answered my question on one of his videos. He's just done a little bit of a trip into Queensland and got some footage. Now he's back up in Darwin because he was moving to Brizzy at one point. Whether that'll still happen or not.
Anyways, that background behind me was sunrise Saturday morning here in Daytona.
Lucky you caught it between the clouds.
Oh,
I
love it when the clouds are out there like that.
I do terrible live streaming in the mornings.
I mean, look at the sun flares bouncing off the top. That's always the best part, is the flares, if the clouds are just the right distance.
Oh, you mean you didn't buy a light leak pack and put it on there?
Yeah, no. No. This is Here's the other thing about this photo. So this is the picture in video photo that the Autel can do while you're shooting video. So I always have it shoot every 5 seconds. That's as fast as you can collect it. So it's not like a 5K kind of photo, but looks pretty good.
You know, I've had the X5S since October 2018 now, and with the bullshit that the videos go through with the compression of YouTube. Now YouTube is now using the VP9 and I think they're going over to the AV1, which will be a little less compression. But my point being, you could do the best video and it looks great on your 4K HDR screen at home. Not going to come out like that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Matt, look, it's Recovery Drones.
That's Recovery One drone.
I've changed it. I changed it today. I went into that and I re-rendered it. God damn it, because it's such a pain in the ass to add names and change names and all that sort of shit, because you've got to render the beginning one and the end one, because you've got to change the titles and all that sort of shit. So I actually went and changed that, Dre, so it'll make you happy that you're now Recovery One drones. Yeah, so won't be.
That is a reference to his channel opening when he does the, what is it, 2 minutes?
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
3 minutes of pure bliss.
Yeah.
Well, your older streams, Jim, you had a 2-minute intro.
Yeah, I don't like the guys who do 5 minutes. That's just too long. People don't want to hang out for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you only had like 30 seconds of footage anyway, Jim, so that wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, and then you're waiting for 5 minutes.
Blank screen.
to see that shit footage. Yeah.
Yeah. And here's another magenta shot taken from a different angle.
Oh my God, you and Gary will never ever get over that magenta.
Here's a shot of a palm from close up.
Rod, do you know about that?
What's that?
I went out with the X5S, shot because I wanted to use up all the batteries. It was like a battery day, and I was shooting this extension. So I'm out there filming for 2.5 hours. For the weight, you have to balance these things out, right? So for the weight, I added a UV filter on the front.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
K&F Concepts UV filter. I thought they were a great name. Maybe they are. I don't know. The whole 2.5 hours of footage came with a red magenta shift.
Oh, here we go.
Oh God. So you were trying to. So now you're going to get the neighbor accusing you of trying to play with the image and see through the clothes, kind of thing. Was that what you were trying to do with that filter?
Oh my God, man.
Flying around trying to see through clothes with that special little spooky X-ray filter.
It ruined it.
Yeah.
It ruined it. And you got to be careful. It's automatically, if you put it in D-Log, Matt, remind me, it's automatically going to be 10-bit, right?
Yep.
These guys don't have to shift anything to make it 10-bit. Okay. I actually saw a guy, this is on a DaVinci Resolve
tutorial
website, tutorial video, okay? He's bitching about the software because he can't get the colors he wants with his 8-megapixel video. I wasn't going to be the one to tell him, hey, buddy, if you're taking an RGB shot or a YUV from, well, only our drones are doing the YUVs, but you said it, Matt said it, banding. When you try and change the colors, they start banding on you, and you can
ridiculous.
Really
and you know what? Even with the Mavic Pro, the first one, I don't know, about 12 months ago. I thought I'd never played with it with the log footage, so I did, and it was absolutely horrendous to try and color in DaVinci. It was terrible. You really couldn't push it very far at all before it started stuffing up. Really bad. Now that's 8-bit anyway, so it's not a 10-bit file. No, it's not. It's not a 10-bit file. So yeah, that
they
was
only came out with the 10-bit on the Mavic 2 Pro.
Good night, rigor mortis.
Right?
and the no, the Phantom's not 10-bit either, is it? No, it's not.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot nicer to work with the bloody what do you call it? 2 Pro. I saw one of those.
Do you remember what I was in when the ISO? I was in D-Log, but it was either H.264 or H.265. It was locked at ISO 500. You remember that?
Well, that would have been 265 because you can't do 264 log. That's on the 2 Pro, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you can't. No, you can't do two. I've never tried. You can't do 264 log. It has to be 265.
It was actually on the X5S camera on the Matrice.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a bit different. But I don't know why that was locked. And the other 2 weeks ago, when I went out flying, for some reason, I have no idea why, my ISO was at 1600. It's never at 1600. It's at 100 every freaking day. And if I can't get the shot, I ain't moving the ISO. And for some reason, and I took all this nice footage of the boat going on, and it's all ruined because it is just noisy as shit. And because I couldn't, as I said before, I couldn't get my bloody aperture right. And I'm putting all these NDs on. I'm going, why can't this? I cannot get this picture right. I thought I was having a bad camera day, but that was horrendous. And then I just noticed ISO 1600. I'm in manual. And I go, what the hell's this shit? All this footage that I took was all crap. Gone.
One misclick.
Hey,
I don't know
Marcel,
why,
Drone Bone,
because I never changed that. Never.
Peter Carroll. What's up?
Peter Carroll.
We got
Hey,
Drone
Marcel.
Bone.
Hey, Paulie.
Marcel. Drone
So,
Bone.
are you ready for next week, Jim?
What's happening next week?
October 4th.
What am I going to be missing?
Evolve 2. That's when they start shipping them.
That's
The X Dynamics.
Affirmative?
Yeah, that's affirmative.
Okay.
They posted that message. The X Dynamics guys posted that message back to me on a YouTube comment.
I just can't see repeating something. And then, didn't you get the 8K camera too? Did you get the 8K?
No, I only got the 6K because the 8K wasn't the 1-inch sensor. It was the same sensor that was on the Air 2. That's what was always weird about the 8K.
Does that even make sense to you?
No. Marketing guys.
Let me ask you something though, right? Look, I'm not very familiar with your channel, to be honest. I don't even know if I'm.
He's all Autel.
Yeah, I have some DJI. I'm just pure hobbyist, Matt. I literally throw videos up once in a while just for people to kind of look at. I'm not trying to build anything. I talk to I chat and talk and do that kind of stuff with the guys that do have the channels.
Matt, did you see that comment on the screen?
I did, yes. The Spark was getting very jealous. Well, it would do, yes. It snuck into the case overnight and just slipped that ISO up on me, you mungle. That's so footage is so much better than the Mavic 2 Pro.
Matt, look what BMax wrote.
BMac. Where is he? Hobbits. Yeah.
But he's not in New Zealand. If he was in New Zealand, that would be even more appropriate. Since that's where they shot the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I was wondering, what you'd actually done with DJI footage. What DJI cameras have you had?
So I've got the Air 2 and the Mini 2.
Right, okay. Okay.
And I never upgraded to the 2S because, well, I have the Autel, so why would I need to upgrade to the 2S and with a fixed aperture, no less?
Well, you know what? And I've heard people talk about this. I want to know why. I haven't researched it by any means, but I want to know why people think the 2S is better than the Pro 2.
Probably because of some of the algorithm changes that they've done with the way it does the coloring, and so they kind of think it's a little better coloring kind of thing.
Better than the Hasselblad?
Yeah, well, come on. What's the difference? What's the difference between cameras and mobile phones? The cameras are practically all the same. It's just the processing that the software is doing that probably makes the biggest difference.
Well,
I'm only happy with that footage in HQ mode. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, but it's the color profiling of Hasselblad, which is it's very natural. And look, as I said, one of my mates down in Melbourne, he's got a Autel 6K, same as you. And I hated everything about what that footage was. It was terrible. It was blue. It was very blue. And it took him a long time to actually work out the camera settings and how to edit that footage, which you have to do with any camera because you edit it differently no matter what you're doing. And he's got it to a point now where I like it. I do like it. But straight off the camera, didn't like it at all. Again, that may be the settings within the app on the camera itself.
Sure.
But you know, you've got to learn it. And until you learn that camera and what to do with it, I really didn't.
Yeah,
like
the
it.
one thing that I do, and I know 808 State, who's another Autel guy, he's out in Hawaii, he does a lot of stuff. He doesn't like it, but I do like it. So on the Autel, and it's actually listed in the Light Plus stuff that they posted last night. It has onboard dehaze, so it's like dehaze in DaVinci, and so I generally turn that on, which gives me, for my eyeballs, gives me colors that I like better.
So Charlie Gets Emotional is the title of this video.
That's right, mate. It all comes down to a personal choice. I mean, I've seen, and this is what my mate was doing. He loves saturated footage and all this sort of shit. And I look at it and go, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" To the point of where I actually rang him up after he posted a video. I said, "Dude, what are you doing?"
Yeah, but you know, so you know, the GoPro had the same problem, right? GoPro's always been, you know, the colors are kind of little over colored and pop out. So, you know, with the 10, they now put that third mode in that they call natural. That's sort of a middle between their oversaturated and their flat that they had.
What is the dehaze doing?
Dehaze, just like in DaVinci, the exact same thing that the DaVinci does. So if you're flying around, there's mist, haze, fog, white. It basically takes all the white out.
I've tried it on the, well, those were overblown shots, but I tried it on some humidity shots and it couldn't take it out. It's a lot to ask.
Well,
Because-
let me ask you something. With the dehaze on the drone itself, is it representative on your screen when you select dehaze?
Yes, 100%.
Right. Okay. So you get a good idea. Does that do anything to deteriorate the footage at all? Because dehaze can do that, and it can actually add a little bit of noise.
Not that I've seen. I've always been really pleased, and then
Going to have to deal with the wind noise. I apologize if this is windy noise. If it is,
so
we'll do it another day. We're on.
All right, so this, in continuation to what we started yesterday, Charlie didn't make it out to the Pilgrim Psych Center. Yeah. So we were fortunate enough to meet the famous, the lovable Ken Dono. And as a favor to Charlie,
Man, I'm going to grab coffee.
he asked me to get Ken Dono's autograph because he's really, idolizing him. So I want to present this Paul, the real autograph by Ken Dono. We're going to give it to Charlie.
Study that for forgery. Man.
okay, did we lock up? Because my YouTube's not moving, but my StreamYards is.
That's
Actually, I'm locked out too. Oh no, here we go.
Yeah, now, boy, was that a big lag.
Autograph of Ken Dona, just for you. Can you believe it? Look, he's
Speechless.
Amen. Whew, that was the world's quickest cup of coffee.
Didn't have time to drain the main vein either, by the looks.
Who's got some videos they want to play? Matt, you got anything up? Anything?
Oh,
I gotta
no,
get
I
off
just-
of my channel.
I just got my normal shit that I do.
So, anyways, Matt, Jim and I have been talking about the Evolve, and he's kind of in the same ballpark opinion as me versus like the Evo 3 or the Mavic 3 Pro. That platform, because it has interchangeable lenses, although they all got to be pretty lightweight lenses that you put on that camera, is a much more flexible platform than I think sort of the dual camera kind of thing that you know we're going to see on the other things, because the dual camera on the Mavic 3, right? The main camera is a wide angle 4/3, but that telephoto 7X is only a 1/2 inch sensor behind that thing, which beats like if I wanted to, the rocket shots at night, that telephoto tried to zoom in on the rocket's going to be kind of useless with that 1/2 inch sensor. Where with something like the Evolve, then with that 4/3 sensor with a telephoto lens,
Sorry,
actually
Dre,
to the camera,
no problem.
I'm going to wind up with a better video.
What's up, Dre?
That's
How
right.
are you doing, Justin?
And you might be better off getting your footage and zooming in post when you're using the 1-inch sensor. It'll be a lot cleaner image anyway.
Probably.
Only to a point where you can zoom it in till you start to introduce noise. But then again, you can go do some noise reduction on that as well. So you'll probably get not a bad image once you've captured that. Like any footage, if the footage you've captured is decent, there's only so much you can fix a crappy bit of footage in post,
Yeah, we found that out, didn't we?
Yeah, the biggest. I don't know if you know the conversion in millimeters to sort of what the zoom factor is, but they support a 45 millimeter lens.
Yeah, right.
I've got the 45 on the. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I've got the
is that
14,
like
42,
3x,
the
4x? What is that from an optical zoom?
And don't forget your focal crop too. Focal crop too. It's a 2 times focal crop. So in other words, if you think I'm actually on top of a person, I'm twice that distance away from them, which can actually be a pain in the ass, because that's what got me in trouble that one time. I was so far away from the construction site I was doing. The drone was actually over that motorcycle clubhouse I was telling you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Brian's got one for you, mate. He's got a video that he wants to see. If you want to pop that up there,
he wants to see.
Yeah.
All right, this is Matt. I didn't drone. Matty's drone. I didn't play the music. I've gotten too much trouble.
So, anyways, Matt, you know, the advantage of that Evolve then is because you could change the lens, you're getting everything on that 4/3.
Now, I'll tell you something, Rod. The 14 to 42 Olympus lens, stick with the primes. You prime just the 45 or, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, if you look at the X Dynamic sights, that's the only ones they support. As best I can tell, it's about 140 grams, whatever the lens is, or less. Although I have asked them that question, what's the max weight that they'll support on that camera? Because like for the telephoto, they make those little adapters that sort of do the 2x magnification kind of thing that you could put behind the lens, so you could literally double the telephoto, the optical telephoto. And they do the same thing on telescopes for astronomy too, where they have those doubling eyepiece for the eyepieces kind of thing. So so, you know, if that thing can go to like 250 grams, you might be able to stick one of those on there to get even better telephoto.
Fucking StreamYard, man. This video looks like shit through StreamYard.
Yeah, you're going through StreamYard, then you're going through.
I know, it's
YouTube's
just popping for me.
compression.
Like, Matt's there, and then he's like 20 feet ahead of him. But I don't see any of the video in between.
And that Cine version of the Mavic 3 is likely to be in the ballpark price range of what the Evolve 2 is, which is $36.99.
Unlimited vertical, so it's playing about 3 frames a second.
Yep.
And kind of the way that I described that drone to people is it's basically a shrunk down Inspire and a slightly grown Phantom 4.
So, Dre, what do you think about that Autel Nano?
Like I said, they're finding their niche in the market just like DJI does. You know, they're going to be that gap between minis and between the full size Evolve 2s. You know, you talk about the price range starting around 600 and some change to around 700 some change. And like I said, you know, that's that in between gap where guys got to start reaching their pocket. They want something new. They got to start paying for it.
And you know, Bill from Coast to Coast and I were chatting a little bit about this subject, and you know, how's this going to impact, you know, resale value when chip prices come back down, kind of thing. And the question I asked him, and this is kind of a question for the audience too. You know, because the prices have gone up because of the constraint on the chips, do you actually think those guys will ever drop them back down? If people buy the drones at those prices, are they going to be inclined to drop it when their material costs drop? And I think the answer to that is no. I think it's going to stay there. I think it's going to stay there.
What they'll do is when it comes to Black Friday or around week or two before Christmas, they'll have some good sales on them because they'll pass that savings on to the retailer.
Sure.
And that's what I say. Then they'll make up their money through bulk. How many they're going to sell? Everybody said, "Well, it was $7.99 when it first came out. Now they got it on sale for $100 off."
Well, that's why I said Autel's got to get that manufacturing ramped up to be able
I'm just going to show Dre this. Are you happy now, mate? You happy with that now?
Hey, I'm always good, man. You know.
So Autel has actually done that, Dre, because I bought my second
Recovery One drone has been repaired.
Evo 2 Pro 6K for $11.99, and it's normally 17 something.
Right.
So they've done that a couple of times. One was a Labor Day sale, and when did I buy that second one? Or whatever this spring sale was.
Yeah, and that just feeds into the I gotta buy it now because I don't know if I'm gonna get this price again.
Right.
You know,
and that's all about marketing.
There's a couple of things too which to consider. Now, I was watching Don Joyce's channel the other day, and he was doing a review on one of the cheaper drones. Now, here in Australia, it was $299, so $300, right, for this drone. Now, it was no gimbal camera, no nothing like that, and all. So for $300, right? You've got this GPS drone that does all the bizzo and returns to home, no active track or anything like that, which, it's all right. It's a cheap bloody drone. But when you look at it, for $300, you could buy a secondhand Spark, right, for $200, and have so many more features and a shitload better camera.
Yep.
So, and this is what I've done. I've bought all my drones secondhand because you get a lot of people who spend all this money on these things. They put it up in the air 2 or 3 times and go, well, this is too scary, and they piss it off. And I've saved thousands of dollars, and especially on my Mavic 2 Pro.
It really has.
They
just like cars.
Well, they could get the Mini SE too and it'd be a better drone. I'm pretty sure from what you're saying, it would probably be a way better drone.
Look what Brian says. Unless you're doing it to make money as an income, a 107, it is discretionary money. It's your play money that you're willing to waste, I guess you would call it, on a hobby.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They're going to push this 3. If they push that 3 above that threshold,
yes,
and looking at purely for the professional market, because you want the best out of it, but there'll be people who buy the base model. There always is. But that'd push me out of the bloody, because I'd want that. I'd want the
Hey Matt, let me ask this question though. How many prosumers like us can they afford to lose for every singular enterprise sale? For them, they'd rather take that same drone and then sell it as an enterprise drone than to sell it to us for the jacked up price, because they can jack it up even more.
Well, the one thing you got to look at this. Every drone company is looking for the big payday.
Yep.
So no matter how many prosumers they may lose, if they can get that government contract, that's gravy.
100%. And so maybe that's why the sub 250 really becomes mainstream drone for like everybody, because of where the cost is going to be.
Yeah. Now for me,
the quality.
Actually, for me, the drones that I'm looking at,
that's for me and you
down the road. I'm looking at the Evolve to see how quickly that's going to be adapt to the mapping side of things, and also it's already up there with the Inspire too.
If you're going to get an Evolve, why don't you just get a Matrice 200, a regular?
Well, that's just what I'm saying, because of the price of the Evolve is 2/3 less than a Matrice. You can't argue with that.
Just the straight Matrice 200 is only like 4,000.
Yeah, but what lenses I'm getting with that?
You could buy, dude. I had to buy all my own lenses, just like
Rob. Yeah, that's going to be the same. That's going to be the same with the Evolve.
That's what I'm saying. Like I say, it's just if the Evolve gives me a better lens, more versatile lens in the package, then I won't have to go to now with, like I said, the 210 or 200 you're talking about. Like I said, you spent what, $8,000 on a lens?
The camera was 2,100, and then you buy your own lenses. It comes with the 15mm. They all come with a straight prime. It doesn't come.
Right. Exactly. It's all the same. It's all the prime.
Right. So that's just, those are, like I said, that's the thing. The Evolve, and maybe going to a straight. I would love to get my hands on a 300 if I get some lottery money or something like that. But like I said, if I can find a used, like Matt said, I'm a big used buyer. I buy my cars used. I buy my drones used.
I'll tell you something, Dre. If you can, get your hands on a used 210. It doesn't have to be the RTK if you don't want it, but the 210 itself, on the back of it, this is what makes it the 210. You can plug in extra equipment. So if you want to put lighting on top or something, you don't have to, you can plug it in, and on the app you control up to anywhere from 5 to 26 volts. You control how much it goes to it. Now, normally in the old days, you were using UBECs for that, voltage regulators.
Hey, Jim, did you see what Jody put in the chat about the M300?
Yeah, he said he replaced the M300. His 300 replaced his 200. Yeah.
So the other thing, Jerry,
with brand new TB60 batteries.
I don't know that the Evolve is going to go into the mapping side. If you look at all the videos and stuff that they've released, I think they're kind of after the same market that Sony is kind of after, which is more the cinematic camera Hollywood kind of, or news stations. All those kinds of guys I think are really their target, not so much the mapping guys.
I would say, to me, Sony would lock that up.
I would think they would, even though that thing is pricey as hell. But when you consider how pricey a 12K camera that Hollywood uses to shoot 8K video, that drone is cheap.
Yeah. All right, let me play.
Do you think drones would ever replace like news station helicopters?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they have in a lot of ways already, because like I said, like we always say, because of the overall cost factor. The drone can go wherever the news van is at, or the news crew.
Hello, look at the Fox News thing at the border.
Well, I saw
and their use of the drone.
I saw this thing where the guy was flying and he's a cameraman and he's got this big ass gyro hanging out of the bottom of the helicopter. I'm like, what's the need for that to catch a video of a forest fire? Like, why don't you just? I don't understand why they waste so much money on all that when they
like I
could
said,
throw up a $2,000 drone and get a nice shot.
Yeah, well, like I say anything else, some folks are just old school, resist the technology right away, because it's not about cost. Because going with an older helicopter setup, you're talking about a pilot, co-pilot, and then you got a cameraman.
It's hundreds of dollars an hour in pay.
That's thousands of dollars an hour.
Right, with maintenance
and fuel costs.
Yeah, and as I'm saying, this fuel maintenance, all that kind of stuff that goes along with operating a full-fledged aircraft. Now, like I say, in time, as stations look at it, people like anything else get more comfortable with the technology. Just like all the fire rigs where I live out here, every rig has a Mavic Pro or 2 Pro on it now. They have
the fire. All the fire departments should literally have a thermal drone.
Right. They haven't got the thermal. I'd say that, and some of them got grant money and went crazy and bought the Inspire, and they have all crashed. They've all crashed them.
Yep.
They didn't know how to fly yet.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was one video in the UK. I think a fire department over there where they went to a fire and there was smoke coming out of the house like everywhere, but they couldn't figure out where the hell the fire was. So they threw the thermal drone up and went, "Oh, it's in the attic," and went and got it. Then,
right? Yeah. And like I say, so, and like I said, those scenarios and situations, and even with the law enforcement, as far as having at least a supervisor. I remember my days in law enforcement. The supervisor was the only one that carried the Mini 14s. Now every officer has a Mini 14, replacing the shotgun in the center of the seats now.
Shit, some of them have ARs.
Yeah, well, they got the full side, but back in my day, they were Mini 14s, and that, how that all happened was, I don't know if you guys remember the bank robbery here in LA back in the early
90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, 90s, whatever. That situation changed who was going to be able to carry what type of firepower from that time on.
Yeah, they had to go to a gun store.
Yeah, they had to go.
Those guys had so much body armor on.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I say,
literally, they hit them a bazillion times, but they never went to the arbor.
Well, they were so outgunned, they actually had to go to a gun store and borrow guns from the gun store.
Right. So, like I say, so like I'm saying, so sometimes it's going to be an event that's going to push the technology forward, or it's going to be whoever the chief or sheriff of that county, whatever. If he's into that technology, he's going to push it forward because he holds the purse strings, and that's what it's all about. And even me working for a city, I have to get buddy, whoever the director is, or most likely is I got to get buddy with the city manager staff and see who's on the technology, because they're the ones who control the purse strings. And that's how any technology is going to get purchased, is that right there.
Look at that drone video from the police probably a week or so ago where the guy was hiding up on the roof and the cops were talking to him and they told him to turn around and the drone was staring at him.
Yeah. So like I said, and that's what it comes down to is it's preference, attitudes, and then dollars. That's what all comes down to. And like I say, some folks will be stuck in the mud, kicking their heels in, and won't change over and say, well, we got this helicopter, we're going to use it until the day it dies and stuff. But, instead of saying, okay, we can probably save tens of thousands of dollars.
So instead of having one
that's work.
helicopter, you could have 30 drones. So how
Right.
much more useful would that be?
You know,
Of
but I will
course.
say one thing. When you see these car chases, I was watching, and it's always LA. I
Mhm.
was watching this car chase. This helicopter was absolutely miles away from the dude. And I don't know what zoom they got, Dre. I really don't. But, you know,
Mhm.
they have huge ass, what's the name of that company? One phase one cameras on the front of these things.
Mhm.
They are freaking huge. And there's no way, even with the Z300 30 times optical, I would have been able to catch what they caught.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I mean, that's, you know, the payload they can carry and everything else. In situations like a pursuit where speeds can reach over 100 miles per hour, there's no drone that can carry a camera of the size you would need to be able to keep up.
These
But-
guys
So-
out in Florida are using M600s.
Yeah.
So, you
searching
know,
that
for
guy in the
that
swamp.
chase, it would be worth probably using a helicopter. But, you know, like
Right.
in a foot chase thing, are you going to call the helicopter in? No,
Well,
it'd be
well,
rather
okay.
to have the patrol guy with the drone in his trunk
Right, 'cause
and let
the
him
biggest
throw it
thing you
up and
look
go
at-
find him.
Well, the biggest thing you look at, there's not just one incident that happens. There's nights where we had to call out. Ours is we used to be called 40 King, and we had to call them out, and we called them out, and then another agency called them out, neighboring city, whatever. There might be one helicopter for 5 different agencies in that area.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So they got to dictate, prioritize what's what. So like I say, if the supervisor has a drone in his trunk, hey, give me a corporal over here, give me a SAM unit, which is a sergeant, give me a SAM unit over here, and he can throw a thermal drone and to assist what's going on until the helicopter can come into play. And then they can say, okay, helicopters on scene, bring the drone down, let's go on from there. Or we don't need a helicopter, we got it covered, put a perimeter in place, let's tighten it up, catch this guy hiding in a roof or under a pool and all kind of dumb stuff.
Yeah, you know, do you want the cop trying to jump the fence, or do you just want him to chase with the drone, and then when the guy gets stupid and tired and finally stops
yeah.
and goes,
Well,
he's right there, okay, and then walk over and pick him up?
And that's what I like
now-
about the Mavic 2, because it's so quiet. Until your thing gets down to about 80 feet, you don't even hear it.
Listen
No,
to
they were
this
all-
video. This is
they
from
were-
Colin Kelly, and this is Walter Vapato, who's a color scientist. But remember the discussion we were having a week ago?
At home cannot see what we do, there is no point in doing it. And at the end of the day, the display is the ultimate deliverer of images. So, for example, let's start immediately with 8K, because 8K is better, it's bigger, there is more data.
See?
Yeah.
But the pipe is not changing. I mean, the thing is that we went from HD to 4K, and the pipe didn't really change. So they just compressed more the shit out of it. And now we go from 4K to 8K. You need to compress the same image 4 more times.
This is Hollywood.
It's
speaking.
not going to get better.
Totally.
So will we see soon 8K TV in our homes in the next decade? Probably. Do we need them? Probably not.
Okay, I got to stop
Very true.
because Colin Kelly, please, man, I know he does grade school and all this for DaVinci Resolve. I'm probably going to get a strike on this one. He can copyright claim me, but I respect the dude, so I watch his channel. I just wanted you to hear that part because we had that discussion about the 8Ks 2 years ago. I saw them at CES. Do we need it? No.
Well, we've had this discussion numerous times.
But even as he
4Ks.
told you, the signal hasn't got any better.
Right.
So come on now.
So
Hey,
take signal out of it, because I have a home theater with a projection system. So
Is it laser?
yeah, it's a JVC. Oh no, it's not the laser one.
you got the 3 chip.
That'd be by Dextwood and eventually. But so the 8K, the advantage of the 8K, you will literally not see until you get to 120 inches or greater. Because at 120 inches, then on the 4K is when you're really going to start seeing the screen door effect, a la the dots.
Well, he's
where
talking
the
as a
8K
Hollywood colorist for
That's
40
a big fucking
years.
TV.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. It's like 120. No way.
Well, I have a 150 inch screen in my backyard.
Yeah, I have 150 in my master bedroom too. So, but
Yeah.
you and I are the rare birds, right?
Mine's
The
only
average
6 foot, but I
consumer
took
doesn't
it
have
down and put up
anything
the
that
4K
big.
TV.
Like I said, I'm using a
How was your
Epson
day, Matt?
1060 projector in my backyard, 1080p, and the picture looks awesome.
Sure,
Jody, I'll pull that up.
It looks awesome. But
Yeah,
like
try
I
it.
say, like I tell everybody's into this streaming stuff and everything. But I will put a Blu-ray in it in a heartbeat of the same movie I can stream, because the physical media is so much more contrast, more depth. Colors are more rich. The depth of the colors are stronger than any streaming I've witnessed.
It
Right,
was
it doesn't
made
have the
for
compression.
TV, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the compression, and that's why I tell people this is our society. It's like we went with music. So I'm trying to say this so Matt will understand what's going on. So like with music, we went from vinyl to CD, and then all of a sudden we get into MP3s and all this kind of stuff, and everybody hated MP3 because the quality was gone. So we went to FLAC, and now we got DSD and all this kind of stuff. But it still does not replace the vinyl, the original source, or masterpiece. And I always tell people, if you have a bad master, I don't care what format you created in, a bad master.
So, Dre, this is why people like who are in the audio like Macintosh Laboratories, because they still have the tube amps.
Yeah.
I don't think I should be showing that.
I used to have a old Rotel amp way back in the days, and I love that amp. I wish I never got rid of his old 2-channel, 450 watts per channel Rotel amp, and it played
Sean and
music
I,
beautifully.
Eagle
What
FPV, were
happened to
talking
Jim?
about this the other night. Huh?
I said, what happened to you, Jim? Went from naked yoga, you won't even show a flying video.
Anyways,
We're
I
shooting.
probably ought to get going before I get yelled at by the other half. Thanks for
Right on,
having me
mate.
on. You all have a
Nice to
great
see you.
evening, and it's been fun.
Oh, dude,
Good night.
what's your channel name, man? I'm going to check this out. I said that.
Hot Rod in Daytona. Spaces in between. Hot Rod, one word.
Okay.
You think you could have figured that out by your name, huh?
Man,
You're on fire
I'm a
tonight,
keep it
Dre.
simple, stupid kind of guy, Dre,
Oh,
being
man,
in the computer world. So,
You have to keep it simplified for Matt. I mean,
Let me tell you something, Dre. You have now gone back to recovery drone.
Yeah, okay, that's all right. As long as you call me, I'll show up.
anyways, have a good one, guys. Good talking
Night,
to you.
Rod.
Hey, appreciate you having you on, Rod.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Hot Rod in Daytona. There you go. All right.
Nice,
Well, I better-
nice video, Joe Blaylock. I know you just put that up. I actually got notified. That's why I played it.
Jim, I don't even get notifications for your live until like 30 seconds before you go live. Like I can't even get into it doesn't even show that you're going to go live for me. But everybody else will be in the damn chat, just chatting away.
I know. I don't know how people get in that chat.
I didn't get it till like a few minutes before he came on, and I was in the what do you call it, the waiting room, and then my wife said, "Oh, let's eat." I said, "Well, let me get out of here."
Well, that's
Go
the
eat.
thing is, I'll be in the waiting room and I'll see people chatting in the chat.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll go to his channel and there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. Yeah.
And I see
Yes,
them in
it's
the
weird.
chat too. And I'm like, how the hell are they chatting in StreamYard when it's not up on YouTube or anything? How does that work?
StreamYard private chat. Was one today. Who was in there? Yeah. Oh, he might have had an invite. But anyway, yeah, I'll do that. Well, as I said, I got that 3-minute counter. I might go on about 5 minutes beforehand, but not go live. But everyone's chatting, all in the
because it pulls up the normal YouTube chat while they're waiting.
Yeah.
I can chat in somebody's live that they have scheduled a week from now. I can jump in there and start chatting.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, but I'm saying, like, I didn't I haven't pressed the go live yet or anything. And
Yeah,
guys are already.
Jim doesn't even show that he's going to go live the day before. A lot of guys advertise like 12 hours before that. Hey, don't mark my little reminder button here.
Well, shit, like people like Johnny, man, they'll put it on like a week before.
Yeah.
You guys know I'm on Tuesday nights. Love me or hate me. You know what I mean? If you stop coming, I'll stop putting the damn thing on. Stop turning the computer on.
I'm still on the fence, Jim.
Yeah, me too.
I'm still on the fence. Oh, man.
Every now and again,
Jim. Wait a minute, Matt. Jim's not paying you to come on either?
Look, you know what? I'll say no just to keep everyone happy.
Go ahead and do that little wink.
Diana Ross. Don't start with me with Diana Ross.
Yeah.
What a voice.
Like I said, I was on an audio thing, and they were talking about, I guess, before Prince died, about some of the greatest things or greatest musicians or whatever. And I tell people, I said, there's been great musicians over the years, different categories, different genres, and so forth. But I tell people that the technology has been the biggest impact on the music industry more than anything else since the 1960s going forward. It's just like drones. Technology jumped so fast. And like I say, I like old Motown music, but I can't stand listening to it today because of the quality of equipment they were using to record it.
Then,
the master tapes just suck, and no matter if you remaster it or whatever, it still sucks. It was great on AM radio or the little fold-out record players that some of us might have had as kids or something like that. It was awesome then, but you listen to it now and on a CD or a digital download or something like that, and there's just no depth to the music. And I realized, I told people a while back now, the jazz genre got it right from pretty much the mid 70s on, because I can pull out a track from something, maybe a Herbie Hancock, George Duke, or what's the other guys I listen to a lot of? He's called them Captain Fingers and stuff. But
you old bastard.
Yeah. But I can say I can listen
to Mario Lanza, my father's favorite.
Yeah, I break out some Muddy Waters. I'll break out some Muddy Waters on you in a heartbeat. But I can tell people,
Muddy Waters, all right.
Yeah, but I tell people, I said that music sounds from something from the 1970s. Sound just as good as a track from somebody who just put one out in the last 2 or 3 years. But it took a long time for pop music to catch up. Around the 80s, that pop music started to have a better quality standard on what they, as far as their masters and what they put out, especially when CDs start coming on board. It's like,
dude, I remember when FM became the thing.
I know.
I used to listen to Imus in the morning, WABC radio in AM.
Yeah, I could say, dude, I was like, FM started to become popular right around 73, 74. Stations were changing over from AM to FM.
I'll tell you what, Dre. One of the reasons that the production quality got better in the 80s was the fact that they started to introduce the electronic digital sounds.
Yeah, that too.
Because a lot of the bands in the 80s,
tubes, right? Because you got rid of the tubes.
Yeah.
Well, there was always like if you go back and listen to some of the early 70s Stevie Wonder albums, like Talking Book and stuff
play Joe
stuff
Walsh.
like that.
Play Joe Walsh's Walk Away, that famous tune, Walk Away. It sounds like shit to today's quality. I mean, it's not even out in FLAC.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can say just certain artists were ahead of their time as far as the quality of music they put out. But I say as far as the industry as a whole, I think the 80s was like say Matt said, the transition from digital recordings and that point made the difference.
Well, let's face it, like another one is auto-tune. You know, if it wasn't for that, Matt wouldn't have a career in music. I mean,
and on that note, we're playing Brian's video. Brian's trying to get fancy on us with his titles. Oh, black and white to color.
It's gone black and white to saturated. Yep. I mean,
Uh-oh. Mr. Cinematic isn't loving it. That's the color of New York water right there. That horrible green. You're like, should I swim in this?
what drone is this, by the way?
Probably is.
I don't know.
Didn't he buy the Air 2? I know he had. I thought he had a Mavic 2 also.
Oh.
Wait, what was he pointing at? What are those things?
I think that was the bus stop, Joe.
Oh,
Bus
shit.
stop.
Should I be playing that music? Oh, man. I forgot.
B-Mac.
The music might be in
Magenta. Say it, Jim.
Oh, you bastards. To the day I die.
Tell me what your white balance was there.
Hotel Cortez.
Are you in manual white balance at all, mate?
Gotta be, right?
Mm.
This is the Mini SE and the Air 2S.
Yeah.
All right. So is this the mini footage, that one there?
Well, how the hell can we know? It's mixed in.
Yeah, I know. But
What's she showing there? Well, why are you flying away from her? She's trying to show you the goods.
Sometimes, Jim, you get that call of the naked lady run down the street. Those are the calls we try to avoid. It's never the lady you want to see.
You saw the big broad too, huh? Where's the big one?
Let's get those 5150 run down the street nude.
There she is.
Everybody says, I'm 10-6 busy.
We want to dance with your dates.
Dre, it's like Ron White said. It doesn't matter how nasty they look, you still want to see it.
Now, see that girl there, she's trying to... She wants to show you the goods. What? See?
Can't look away.
Is he still doing comedy or did he retire?
There
you go. What's up, Peter? Who was it?
Oh, music is non-copyright.
Robert Glazier just popped in.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob. Yeah, see that color? That's New York water, man. It's just green. You put your hand in and you can't see it.
I reckon that's the Air 2S, that footage.
I bet that's the mini on that one.
He said the
I would
Mini
say
SE.
I would say that would be the Mini SE, because if it's not,
look at the car on the right.
I'd be very disappointed.
But everybody bashes the Mini 1 ever since the Mini 2 came out. It is still a good little drone, regardless.
See, look at the car on the right. It's not handling the shadow.
No. It's probably more to do with his the contrast.
His settings, you're right. His settings suck. Well, it's Brian. You don't really expect much.
Dude, he is obsessed with that naked yoga. He said naked yoga at the beach.
What are they doing?
Naked
Really?
yoga at the beach.
And you can drive on your beach too, huh? It's
That's
like
what I'm
Daytona.
saying. Yeah, the Air 2S is the water, and I would say this would be the Air 2S as well.
You see the difference in the way it's handling the contrast, or the shadow areas.
You can make really good videos with the Mini 1 now. I mean, 2.7K is not bad at all.
Yeah, well, it is.
Especially if you bring it down to 1080p, right?
Yeah,
like
you do the
Matt
1080
does.
60 frames.
Right.
Look, for me, and I said it when it first came out, that camera didn't replace the Spark, because I think you still get better footage out of the Spark than the Mini, the first Mini, and the fact that it was Wi-Fi and all that sort of shit too. It didn't really upgrade much at all.
Right, but it's still a capable drone for the
Oh, it's
price.
okay. I mean, it all depends on what you do with it and what you're shooting with it. There are limitations to any camera.
Right.
And obviously, you know, they've all got them. They've all got limitations. But it wasn't
And
that
they're
much.
there for a reason, because they're trying to sell you, you know, they're trying to upsell you.
But for the price that they put out for that SE, though, there isn't another drone at that price that's even going to compare to that. As far as stability,
and that's the point.
Yeah.
And
How much
look
is
what they're
it?
doing.
$249.
$249.
I think that's what it starts off as, just the non-fly more combo.
You're paying by the ounce.
But
Hey,
that's
Dan.
not bad, though. I mean,
And that's
you
Wi-Fi, isn't it?
yeah, but you can find, I mean, shitty, cheap or piece of crap drones on Amazon for $350 that aren't going to look nearly as good.
That's what I was getting at earlier with this crappy drone with no gimbal for $299 when you can buy a secondhand Spark with so many more features, you know, and you'll get a better drone out of it. Now, when you look at the features, it all depends on what you want with a drone anyway. You know, horses for courses. You know, I mean the I see footage, my EV. There you go. Using my cell phone, I had to brighten the screen. You could see that.
And remember this, guys, that exposure value is going 0.07, so almost a full stop of light.
Yeah, you want to keep that.
I
actually keep mine. I keep mine at even 0 seems to be a little bit overexposed now and then, because I put my grids up right on my screen and I can see all the overexposed parts, and then I can adjust everything to suit. And
I've got a dent in.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I was replying to Flying Rhino talking about his 8-track. I said, I remember back then the under the dash Pioneer Super Tuners were king back then. If you had one of those, you were special. Sorry, Matt. Yeah, I know you're
all
talking about
right,
drones. No,
it's okay. Recovery.
It's okay. I saw that.
He also remembers the premiere of I Love Lucy. Just remember that.
Close. I was born a day after.
I used to watch The Honeymooners, the original Honeymooners with Ralph Cramden.
There you go. Rob Glazier's into it too, mate. That beautiful thing.
I keep my Spark on standby.
It's fantastic. Mine's heading out soon. Mine's head. Well, number one, you're not going to get good money for it. So unless you're desperate for a can of baked beans or whatever, you wouldn't sell it anyway.
Well, that's a great thing about DJI drones is the resale value is really good on them versus, you know, you buy that one you were talking about, Matt, that $300 drone. I guarantee you won't get $100 back out of it if you try to resell it.
Oh, absolutely. Gone.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, like Matt was saying, the Spark is still a decent drone if you use it correctly. You know, like I say,
if you think it isn't, go watch Kenny Cardoso's channel.
Yeah.
He uses the Spark and he does good shit.
I have to admit, Matt's
got a lot of other drones mixed in, is what I'm saying.
I have.
I think Kenny only has the Spark, right?
I think he bought an Air.
Well, there are some channels that like literally focus on just using one specific drone.
But Matt does have a trick, though. He filmed. Are you filming? It's not a 4K drone. It's a 1080 drone, but you're rendering in 4K.
Well, here's the thing with the camera on the Spark. It basically is a 4K camera, right? But they had to dumb it down for the image stabilization because of the 2-axis gimbal.
Right.
So you're getting the Spark's color saturation is incredible for the size of it, and it is and this is why you can play with it in post, sharpen that image, and then, as I say, when I muck around with it in post and I do my stuff to it, then I render out at 4K and up the bit rate too. Right, so it's a 24 megabit when you're filming, which is pretty pathetic. So on render, I'll up that megabit anyway. So you're getting a lot more, a bigger file out of that anyway, and it gives a little bit extra quality, especially when you're putting it into YouTube, where they start compressing it, and you know you can get lots of lots of pixelating and all sorts of shit.
Well, look at the Spark price too, because I think we were looking at it on Amazon. The new ones, it's still the same price I think when it came out for a brand new.
Yeah, because you know what, it's still got features that no other drone has got.
Yeah.
When I don't think they have. Anyway, when it comes to a drone for a kid for his first drone, I think it's a fantastic option because it's got the little gimmicky things that you can play around with gestures, hand gestures, and you don't need the controller to fly it. You know, pop it up there, pop your hand up. It looks at your hand and goes, "Oh, hello," and then you can make it move, and wave at it, and goes away and does a selfie, comes back down again. Yeah, it's bloody fantastic.
Now,
what
the
it
Tello
is.
does that, but the Tello is only 720p, and you cannot fly the Tello like you can the Spark. The
Well, the
wind
digital-
blows the Tello away.
Digital stabilization on the Tello kind of sucks too, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's shitty.
Like
Yeah,
I
it
say,
is.
the Spark is a strong drone for its size and everything else. I said the gimbal was a drawback as far like Matt was saying. To be a better camera, it needed to be a 3-axis gimbal. Being 2-axis, and that's what hurt it when you put it in sport mode. That thing whizzes around almost like an FPV. You put it in sport mode, but then the camera can't handle anything. It's all jerky footage.
It locks the camera as soon as it does that. I did a video on that, I don't know, 18 months ago, and I flew the Spark FPV style. So it was in sports mode, and I flew it through all sorts of shit around crap, and I nailed it. But the gimbal overheated and stopped working.
Right. Yep.
I thought I broke it. But anyway,
Does it come up on a screen and say gimbal overload?
No, it just didn't. It just didn't work. It stopped.
I've actually seen that. I've seen that on my screen. Gimbal overload.
Oh, so have I. So have I.
Okay.
But you know,
it just said dumbass in red letters.
Mine come up. You know, I'm a Spark, right?
You want to crap your pants. In red letters, it comes up on the screen. Battery damaged.
Well,
I've seen that once, and that was with the when the Matrice flight control board was going bad. I didn't know it was going bad. You know, one flight it would work great. The next flight it's 8,000 feet out, and you're like, "Are you coming home? Or did I just lose the car?" You know.
Well, it's like how people were talking earlier about whether the Pro 2 price would go down, but will it? Because I mean, look at all the other DJI drones; they're all still right around the same price.
Man, the Phantom 4 Pro 2s have went up in price, even on
and then
eBay.
They added an RTK on it. Yeah,
they're going up. I mean, those, like I said, because people are realizing the value of the camera, of the camera on that drone, and then people are trying to make money off with drones. So it's like, hey, I need to get one of these because this is what everybody's requesting.
Right.
And stuff. So like I said, it hasn't lost any value. Like I say, unless you find somebody who just want to get rid of it, that's about it.
Let's see if we can give Brian full watch time here. It's only a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Flying Rhino that he says he's only getting 7 minutes out of the battery. I'm still getting 12 to 13 minutes out of my Spark battery.
Well, the people
absolutely. It depends. Sorry, Mike.
I was going to say the people that are. We want to find the people that buy the drone that had money, but then they decide they don't want to be in the hobby, and they're like, "Yeah, just take it for $300. Take this $2,000 drone." You know, they just want to get rid of it.
This is what I did. That's
it's
exactly
like guys who have
why
motorcycles. Yeah.
Because I even saw a guy today. I think it was on one of the Phantom sites. Maybe it was in the commercial drone site. He's selling basically a brand new Phantom 3 Pro. He bought it as a backup, never used it, and $400. I think he has 3 or 4 batteries for it.
Wow.
$400. Phantom 3 Pro.
Well, see, that's what I'm waiting for Jim to do with the Inspire 1. You know, he's going to tell me, I don't want it no more. Just take this fucking thing off my hands.
It's seriously, I think that's the only drone I'm going to be able to manipulate myself down the road. You know, take DJI's crap out of it, put maybe a nano controller in it. I can keep their ESCs. It is having a problem.
Tonight. There's been a few problems like that tonight.
I've seen some comments in the chat too. And like I said, I saw you guys all doing the circle thing there.
Yes, I still get, if I fly it down to like 15%, that's the sort of flight time you're looking at.
That's great.
Oh, it's all right, mate. Yeah.
I get mine. I get about 12, 13 minutes flying it down to about 30 to 25%.
Hey guys, that's the same as the Inspire 1. Even with the TB48s, because you're putting a heavy camera on there, you'd be lucky to get a solid 12 minutes out of it.
Al, you bought another Phantom? I thought you just sold your Phantom.
$1,100. Thomas, I'm going to answer you. Yes, I will be, mate. There's a few subjects I want to cover with that when it comes to just some effects you can do, masking, and like from one shot to the other with a vertical image. So you take something, vertical image, you can move the other side, mask that off, and go to another scene, and all that sort of shit. And also tracking blurs and all that sort of crap for number plates and all sorts of stuff. Which I'm going to be doing in the very next future.
Yeah, I saw him on the Phantom site selling his Phantom 4, but he sells a version 1. This one he buys a version 2.
Flown once.
Hey, that's not a
so
bad
that's
deal
what
right there.
Is that $400 off? Is that a $1,500 drone? I forget.
A version 2 usually hits around between $1,400, $1,500 range. That's a pretty good deal for version 2. $1,100.
And then he didn't even tell us whether he got like multiple batteries. He might have got a really good deal.
Well, like I'm saying, that all the accessories is where you make out at, especially extra batteries.
Well, see, that's why when I bought the Mini 1, the only reason I didn't buy the Flymore combo is because I got it for like $250 from Amazon because it was opened but never actually turned on or anything. But because plastic was off, they knocked off like $150 at the time. Because you got to remember, this was only like 3 or 4 months after the Mini 1 came out. So I got it super cheap. I got it for $250 with free shipping.
Yeah.
So he says his first one was only the V1. Now, what was the difference? Was the difference the sensors? They added sensors on the V2?
No. The V2 gives you the built-in screen on the controller, and I think it had a little more quieter motors on it. That was about. It also gave you the quieter props, which, I like hearing that Phantom when it flies. It has
don't mind it at all.
It has that low drone sound, like that. It's not a high pitch like the original Mavic Air. And when I was out flying Saturday, I knew somebody was flying something near me, and I'm flying this big old development site, and I couldn't see it. So I went back. I was there Friday morning. I went back Saturday morning, and come to find out it was a group of guys flying RC planes in the same area I was flying my drone and stuff. I kept hearing this little going around and stuff. I said, well, somebody's got a drone. It's like something small, like a Mini or maybe an Air 2S or something like that. And I'm like, what the heck? But I never could see it because I was down.
When I go flying with other people, we pick altitudes, and that's what we stick at. And when we're changing altitudes, we let each other know. Now, I went out a month or so ago with 4 wheels on the road. Anyway, I had my drone up, and he's doing his ground camera work, right? Anyway, I'm flying my Mavic and doing my bizzo over up in here. Now, I'm not moving my sticks. I'm looking at it. Then I hear this. You know how the Mavic sounds when it goes full tilt and then stops. That sort of shit. This is what I hear in the sky. So he's taken off.
Start shitting a brick.
To fuck, law of averages, cubic kilometers of open sky. You'll hit the fucking thing, won't you? So I'm looking around for this thing. I'm looking. Okay, where's my drone? It's there. Where's this sound coming from? And he's nowhere near me, so I couldn't even talk to him. I was like, oh my god.
Did you see what Flying Rhino put in the chat about his Mini 2?
Oh, wait a second.
Overload gimbal.
When I was flying the Mavic 2 Pro, I don't know what was going on, but there was a period there where this thing would fly through the air, stop, and have the sensors going. I'm in the middle of the air. There ain't nothing there. And Dan Drone Worship was with me. So I got proof.
You know what that can be? The sun. And I've found that as well. Sun reflections on those sensors. I had the same problem with the Mavic 1. It didn't stop, but that they were going off. And this is the one I was buying it off this bloke second hand, and I'm flying around going, and the clouds are up at 20,000 feet.
Right.
Anyway, and I'm flying, and this thing's going, and I'm going, what's going on with this? And he goes, oh, it's just picking up the clouds. I said, you idiot. I don't think so, mate. He's the same bloke who had his set to 400 meters instead of 120 because he thought 400 was the limit. Well, it is in feet. In
oh
meters.
my God. He put it at 400 meters?
Yes.
You know what I hate?
Wow.
They set it at 120 when it's actually 122 is 400 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Dre, are you selling those hats or what? I see everybody with.
I sent a few out to a few people as a goodwill gesture. Like I said, I sent Johnny one because of what he went through with the flooding and the hurricane. But I do prefer to sell them. Me and Al had a trade. He sent me a GoPro 5 or 6 or 7, something like that. So I thought I could send him a hat.
Oh, that was nice.
That is a hell of a trade. What the?
Yeah.
My sprinkler broke in my backyard. Can I get one?
Well, I was going to get back to Matt about the guys that are flying. See, RC planes don't have geofencing stuff because where I was flying at has a TFR.
There you
Because
go.
of the wildfires that just happened a month, and the TFR doesn't expire until October 25th. So I had to get permission to fly there and stuff, and I'm hearing this buzzing sound, and these guys are just whoop-de doing it around everything else.
No idea there's a TFR there.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No
And
clue at
that's
all.
the thing, Dre, where I keep saying that we're screwing up the hobby for them.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to have to do remote ID too?
That's a good question. Because the AMA don't do no favors for us.
No, they'll try to sell you a membership though and say they're
in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Yeah.
Now, do you think it would be worth joining them just for that insurance?
No, because we don't. Well, for me, no, because it don't cover commercial work.
I'm saying for recreational. Do you think
recreational? Well, like I said, if you live near a field that you want to go fly at, knock yourself out.
I think it would be not actually flying, just buying the membership for that. Does the insurance only cover you when you're at their fields, or does it cover you?
Well, see, that's why I don't know. I'm just thinking that if you're going to join, get the maximum opportunities or benefits from joining. If they got a field, you can go down there and fly at their field. You get insurance through them as being a member. So I'm like, get all the benefits you can.
Yeah, because their insurance is supposed to cover damage to people's property,
right?
Medical bills if there's medical bills. It would look like a pretty nice insurance coverage. Yeah, but the thing is does that only cover you when you're at the field, or?
Well, I don't know. The person you probably asked something like that would probably be male 400 AGL. He flies at a field all the time, and few other people.
If it covered you anywhere, that would be worth the membership just to have it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the price of the AUVSI? It's like $2,000. AUVSI.
What is that?
They think they're the pros, and I'll say think again. Let me bring up AUVSI.
What are supposed to be the pro of? Insurance?
The drone world.
Oh,
drone world. They've got their drone pro. Everybody's a drone pro. I love that. It kills me. See, Association of Unmanned, this is them. They're partnering with Embry-Riddle University and all this crap. Why don't you come over here? I'll teach you how to fly.
Into a tree.
No, he didn't fly into it. He landed on it. There's a difference.
Down on it. Here, let's see. Let's see. Join.
I'll ignore that one.
I'm used to you. Let's see membership levels. About membership. Oh, we got to go through all this crap. Just show us the price.
If you could get some decent insurance through one of these, though, just to have the insurance, I would say it's probably worth it.
This is individual membership. Okay,
because like I said, if the AMA covered you to fly anywhere, I think it would be worth buying it. Not necessarily using the AMA fields, but
Oh, wait a minute now. For just an individual, it's 150. And what's this?
Is that a
Active retired military?
Oh, 3
Why
years,
does it go up?
$400. That's not bad for 3 years though. $400.
Well, what are you getting?
Well,
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What are you getting?
If you were getting some good stuff out of it, that
If
wouldn't
I'm
be a
getting
bad deal.
if I'm getting a sticker like AAA tries to send me every year,
Right?
Just slap that right on the ass of your drones.
Let's. This is the members only homepage. Oh, you know what the biggest joke is? Oh, you guys have got to see this.
You never called AAA for locking your keys in your
NIST
open
drone
convertible?
training.
no, my cars won't lock if the keys are inside.
Well, I'm saying when you have your convertible top down and you lock your keys in there.
Oh,
That's when you
well,
call
I don't.
AAA. You know?
I guess you don't notice the hair on my head. I don't use a convertible.
Dre, have you heard of this nonsense?
They'll
This
have those locks like
NIST.
Matt.
Who is this? NIST?
Yeah,
I look like Thelma and Louise.
National Institute of Standards and Technology. They actually
Yeah.
think that this is a great course and thing for training. You
Wow.
fly around and you aim your camera at the bucket, inside the bucket.
Uh-huh.
That's your training right there.
Okay.
Look at
Seems
that.
like
Isn't that great?
Seems like a lot of wasted
Battery time.
grant money.
Waste of battery time.
Like how
Oh
much?
my
should
God,
they
they're
spend?
trying to push this as the Proctor test, as the practical test for the original Part 107.
Yeah, and you know what? That's what I'm saying. You get somebody to buy off on this silly nonsense right here, and next you know there'll be a requirement, just like they do in
Yep.
Canada. In Canada, you gotta go take a practical flying test, which I'm not against a flying test to know that
Neither
you
am
actually
I.
know how to operate it. But this is like a short little bus trip right here.
Well, Dre,
Nonsense.
they spent a whole $500 out of their $1 million grant to build
Right.
this little
Yeah.
fucking buckets from Home
Even
Depot.
this guy, who is this guy who's, I don't even know if he's American. This Pilot Institute all of a sudden has popped up. Every time I come onto Facebook, I get these commercials for Pilot Institute.
Yeah. I've seen them as advertisement.
He's
well,
had
Facebook.
these guys on. Oh, this the NIST lanes training is great and all that. I'm like, are you people fucking serious? Look at this nonsense. I'm gonna fly around, point the camera inside, and that's doing what? Seriously, that's doing what?
Don't know. I have no idea.
I don't see any benefit in that. I mean, I guess unless you get out there and actually do it and try it and see. I mean, just from looking at it now, I don't see any benefit
If
in it.
you've been flying for years and you've been getting your point of interest shots and all that, and then obviously you've been getting them because you're posting them on Facebook, what is flying and pointing your camera inside the bucket doing?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm just going by what I see. It doesn't really make sense to do that.
You got to point your camera at the B, the A, the B, the C, the D. I mean, get it right.
There's a big ass middle finger in that bucket.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
somebody went through the time and trouble to make this.
Of course, like Justin said, somebody got some grant money, probably at some university, came up with this nonsense and says, "Look what we did. Look what we designed."
Yeah, and it looks like something that costs maybe
and the sad thing, Jim, this may end up being a test requirement.
Yeah,
down the road, all because
it's by the ASTM.
I can say all because some professor who have never flown a drone and probably just read about drones and said, "Oh, we can design this to do that."
It is actually that ridiculous. Oh, you're not quite aligned. I guess.
I mean, that may help you with your tree situation, Jim. I don't know. You know, the tall one there.
Keep it up.
It's
Out of
pretty
the
big aim.
15,000 flights, I think the tree can forgive itself.
He didn't see the big B on the tree. Like,
He saw a H. It's like landing.
Look at the right. the little right picture.
Mhm.
Oh
Okay,
dear.
so when you go 10 feet, stop, point it inside the bucket, and then so every bucket on the right side, and then when you fly around, you point it at every bucket on the left side,
I
and
don't
I mean,
know.
you're the big
guess
winner.
I guess for a brand new pilot, I mean, I guess it would be good practice. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For somebody, me, this would be good for recreational.
All right.
Mm.
This would be good for
Well, I mean,
recreational.
because if you're already 107, I guarantee you already have tons of experience.
Yeah.
Nobody's just very few people, I guarantee, are walking off the street and just saying, "All right, let me take the 107 and buy
Mhm.
an
Hang
$8,000
on.
drone." No.
Hang
Wait,
on.
there's official
15
bucket details.
15,000 flights, Jim? Is that what you just said?
I don't know. I don't post every flight, but let me just look at air data. That's another thing, man. I'm getting a little leery, Dre, on whether I should have all this crap up on air data. Because even when I went into the to register the two drones, it asked the question, and you had to answer it. Are the
Mhm.
drones equipped with
Remote ID.
remote ID? Remote ID.
Yeah.
You're
I
asking
haven't-
me
I
this
haven't-
2 years ahead of time, so you go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I got to renew my registration on my Spark in a few. I guess it's by January, December. I got to do it. But I heard you say something about somebody else said something about you asked. They asked that question: is your drone remote ID, whatever? I said it's a dumb question to have when they should know there's nothing manufactured that has remote ID out.
Well, nobody goes by how many flights you've done. It's how many hours you have. So how many hours do you have?
So there's 120 hours on air data that I have. So I'm just saying. And by the way, guys, you can get a free subscription
See you,
to
Dre.
this to air data, which will. What happened to Dre?
Look at Dan.
There he is.
Sorry about that.
He's tired of your shit, Jim.
No, I went to my air data screen and grouped
It
it all
popped you out,
up.
right?
Yeah, it popped me right out. And I'm like,
I do
dummy.
like the new feature. So you can get a free account, and it'll give you up to 6 batteries. And what is it? 3,000 flights, Dre? You remember?
The free account, yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Because I actually have like 832 flights, 122 hours on my air data account.
So
And I
you
guess-
can decide whether you want a flight to come on here or not.
Well, the problem I have is that if I don't remember when I use like drone deploy, if I don't remember to upload the flight while I'm out there, it may not upload later on when I reconnect it to a Wi-Fi hotspot or not. That's the only problem with that.
Jim, what were you doing at 983 feet? Were you inspecting something?
No, that was that software I told you about. Oh God.
Was
damn
that when it flew straight up and then took off?
Yes. Yes.
Well, you don't want to see mine. You don't want to see mine, Justin.
I mapped out the whole house, right? You have to map out the house and then map out the trees. So it's going to fly in this one lane. All it did was go straight up.
Yeah, you can almost double that amount for the highest
Drone
altitude
harmony.
I was flying up in the
Drone
mountains.
Well, when
Drone
Jim was
harmony.
teaching me sectional charts last week, there was actually some towers in Florida that were 1,700 feet high.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Insanely
Yep.
tall towers.
So
I can say most of my drones are not. I want to use the term unlocked, but I have them at the maximum altitude, and that's
Right.
because I live close to the mountains, and I don't want to have to worry about if I ever get in a situation like where I'm flying at right now. This new job I picked up here for next year, it's right against the foothills, so there might be a situation that's got high tension power lines also right along those foothills. So where those towers are placed, they're 100 feet in the air above whatever it's sitting on. So
Right.
for some reason, if my drone goes over that direction, I need to be able to escape above those towers and possibly a mountain.
Yep.
So I don't want to have.
Now
I don't
on
want to have
here,
an
you
issue.
can make your own alerts. I just want to point
Yeah.
that out right quick.
Yeah.
You can make up your own alerts. So if I get any deviations triggered 3 times, because you don't always see these alerts on screen. We were talking about the other day. Me and Matt, or Matt and I.
Mhm.
It was the IMU one, wasn't it?
That was his top
Um,
sensor.
Top sensor wasn't.
Yeah. Wasn't coming up.
It was this one. Now look, if you look at this, okay, and then the on-screen display had nothing in it, but when you go to tips and warnings, click on that, and now scroll down. Look at that. Obstacle avoided, revised flight route. Obstacle avoided. It did it
But
itself.
it didn't come on the screen though.
No, was never on the screen.
Mm.
Gimbal motor overload. This stuff was never on the screen.
Hmm.
That bothers me.
Yeah.
And you see, I keep it at 122 meters for an actual 400 feet, not the 393.
And that's kind of funny because you said 122 meters, but I have to keep mine. If I do a planned flight using some software, I have to drop mine down to around 390, 392, or it says that you're at the. It won't even take off. It says that it's at the ceiling height limit.
Oh yeah, when I do it on my DJI from 393 up to 400, it's in red, and it'll give you that warning.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is they added this part, the equipment part, which I love. Look at that. It says
Yeah,
the
I saw that.
camera now.
Yeah.
And the serial number.
Yeah.
And your remote serial number. It's good to know those things. If this shit is ever stolen, you need to know that. Hey, DJI, shut this controller off.
Yep.
Matt, what were you going to say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
It wasn't important.
I'm going straight to Da Vinci, and I'm going to take that one right off the end of that name.
No, Matt, don't worry about it. You can get me because I've had to spend too much money in the last couple of days. I think last time I was online was Sunday. I say it's between Friday and Sunday. I had to spend $2,000. I bought a new mattress and box spring. That was $1,000. I'm on the computer Sunday, casual day. I'm here, a couple live streams and stuff, Go out to the garage and do some stuff out there on my server. Hear my wife tell me, "Hey, where you at? Where you at?" She's calling for me. My nice 4K TV just died. Yep.
Oh no.
I mean, I've only had it maybe 3 years, if that. Just died. The power just went boom.
Things aren't made to last these days like they were. I had a house.
Justin, I have a same brand Vizio 1080p I bought in 2011. Still works like it did brand new.
Back
So
in
I'm like
2015, 2016, I lived in a house that had original appliances from the 60s that all still worked.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So like I said, so now, Jim, I went out and had an order. This would tick me off. Best Buy had an open box OLED for about $800.
Wow.
I ordered it Sunday, right?
Hell yeah.
I get an email late Monday afternoon. Oh, your order's been canceled. They sold it from under me, dude. So now I had to buy. That's what I'm wondering. So I had to buy a brand new one for $1,100 and some change.
Shit.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Because the TV I had, which is a great TV, I like to buy the same one. Can't find them anywhere.
Dude, you should have just called the corporate office. They probably would have gave you some of that money back.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. It's just.
Well, that's
why I was just so frustrated. Dude. I was like, man, you got your stuff, and it's like now you get on TV. Now the wife's up in the bedroom on the TV I watch, so I ain't got no TV.
That's why, Dre, I've been worried about that. I got the Sony Bravia, the 65-inch, and I think Matt and I were looking at it. I think it was 2017 it was made, and I'm like, how long do these new TVs last? Because I've got a
5 years.
65-inch Mitsubishi DLP, digital light
Right.
protection,
Right.
sitting there not being used. How many? I can't tell you how many years old it is. It's Mitsubishi. Who the hell ever even heard of that?
New TVs, you'll probably get 3 to 5 years on average.
Well, like I said, this is the first one I ever had go out. Of all the TVs I've ever owned, I never had one just boom go out. Never.
Can I say one thing about this question? Don't forget what you're talking about.
Yeah.
When I get home, I find that mine, if I tap, you can, the token, the one on the air data.
Yeah.
The token, because you got two apps, you got air data, and then you have the token one that goes from DJI up to air data. If you tap that, you could say the last 20 flights.
Yeah, I mean, I do that, but sometimes it does not saves. It does not sync. That's what I said. It doesn't sync. Like when I did mine, it said it synced the last 3 flights. Well, it saved the second battery part of the flight I did Saturday, but it didn't save the first battery.
That would actually annoy the shit out of me, because I've been going through and actually getting rid of junk flights.
Yeah, I always do that. The flight, like I said, when I first fired up,
no data left.
You might let the motors run, or you might lift it off, 5-10 feet, and you land it again. Yeah, I kill those. I said no.
And I've got the ones where I'm just doing the battery drain, on battery drain, trying to bring it down to 5%. I don't need that up on there. You're using up a record.
Robert Glazer, I use Panamax power. What do you call those things? Power conditioners. On every system I have in my house, I have a Panamax power conditioner. So I've gone through the power going out in the neighborhood type of thing, and all that kind of stuff. And those things have saved a lot of my equipment over the years. Definitely have saved my equipment.
I just bought a brand new surge protector because it had so many joules protection. I had a palm tree get hit with lightning in the backyard, and let me tell you, it took out the electronics in the house.
Yeah. I've lost one power conditioner because it saved the rest of the equipment, and I said I didn't mind replacing that with another one, but we try to replace home theater equipment, TVs, all that kind of stupid stuff. It just gets too expensive. And I say nowadays, especially here in Southern California, they want to do rolling blackouts because the wind blows over 20 miles per hour.
You know what, though? These things are all starting to add up. It's $15, $14.99. They don't charge tax on this one for air data. Everything else charges tax, and because I've got the mixing light, I've got my God, I don't even know how many subscriptions I've got to crap.
Heaps, plenty,
too much,
too many.
You
I reckon.
forget.
I don't forget. That's the problem.
You don't forget how many subscriptions you've got to crap.
Yeah. I look, because I don't subscribe. They put all this shit all the time, right? And I just don't subscribe to anything. I just nah, because then you end up with 20,000 fucking emails every week. About this, look at this, look at this, look at this, go for this, and then I don't remember what password did I use for that. I don't know. So I've got this account there, which I just babbled on with one day, especially with the FilipinoBride.com, and
And you tried to slide that by real quick, didn't you?
Yep.
I wouldn't have
if I
thought
talk
you'd heard
fast,
that.
they won't notice.
Oh, man. Oh, FilipinoBride.com.
You're competing with art.
Oh, man.
It's in my profile picture.
Yeah.
It's from 12th grade, right?
Oh, man.
Just like a woman.
Oh dear.
Just
But
like
yeah,
the
no,
women
I
do.
don't subscribe to a lot of shit.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
That's just it, though. I forget, and I'm not one to go through and look at a bank statement.
No, not that one. Is that a real website asking for a friend?
Oh man,
I
That's
don't know,
too funny.
Thomas.
It probably is.
Just give him his
No.
your login information, Matt.
Hey, won't
Hang
you hook up with Art? He knows the deal.
FilipinoBride.com.
Yeah.
I almost bet you it's real.
For Filipino
Remember-
Cupid.
Remember when they had those Russian brides? That was like a sight.
I know. How hot were those chicks? Oh,
Yeah,
my
man.
God.
What, the ones with the beards?
I'm not talking about the
That's
1976 Olympic team. No.
The Olympic wrestling team.
Yeah. They're all women.
Yeah, so they say.
Is that one of the
got-
subscriptions you forgot about, Jim?
They got one brow. It's a unibrow.
Unibrow. Oh dear.
Yeah,
that's
I
funny.
remember the Russian brides first came out. They were like ads for it everywhere. What was it? Was it marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Apparently. They
apparently.
yeah.
He's been there. He's been there.
This is what I heard.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
only heard.
I
But
was
to hear this
told.
information, to hear this information, you've got to actually pay them like $100. But anyway, I was interested in the information, so I paid the money. But to actually get someone to actually come over, it's a freaking nightmare. When it, I mean, you'd want to be
I
good in
got
the sack,
Drone
honey.
Harmony mixed up with that dating harmony site.
Drone Harmony.
It's a real app.
Mhm.
It sent my
Yeah.
drone 1,000 feet in the air.
Well, you know, if they start a drone dating app, all it's going to do is connect Matt and Jim. I mean,
Hey, they'll have all the ads there with the profile pictures of the Spark, doing it sexy fucking
Yeah.
prop thing.
Matt with
Oh,
his
yeah.
thong video, you know.
Oh, pull that up in Google. Oh,
I'll throw a Zenmuse Z30 at you, baby.
yeah. Pop that over the back fence, Jim? Anyway, that's another story.
Yeah,
Um,
that's it for a rainy day. Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
going to color grade the shit out of you.
stormy. Yeah. Oh, bring up those reds. Oh.
Talk about cinematic. What the hell was that? Let's see. Some Harmony dating site.
eHarmony.
It is eHarmony.
Yeah. Is it? Oh, that was a good guess.
It is. It's eHarmony. For real love.
And I'm the sick son of a bitch. Okay.
As opposed to Tinder, which is just 5 minutes of love.
Well, in the description, most people put in there that, I love long walks along the beach, romantic dinners and wine. I can't write what I'm into there because I get banned.
No. I'm into beads.
I mean,
I'm surprised they haven't
No.
went with the walk menu on there. I'm a fucking Pop-Tart looking for a.
I'm
yeah,
into
whatever.
gerbils with vacuum cleaner pipes. What are
yeah.
you into?
I'm a Pop-Tart looking for a toaster.
Let's look for a woman. Okay. Oh, I am. No shit. Well, maybe I can be a woman and look for a woman.
No. Go, I'm a man.
Matt,
See-
look who popped in the chat.
Seeking a woman.
Oh, missed all the drone talk, mate. We're on
Yeah.
chicks now.
Yeah, we moved swiftly and appropriately on to every 14 minutes someone finds love. So we're looking for love in all the wrong places. All right, your email.
It's got to be on you. It's got to
What
be
is
on
that
you.
email again, Matt? What's your email again? Be
You
damned
should
if
do
I'm
that
putting
to-
mine.
You should do
Adrian-
that to his email and just sign him up for a bunch of shit.
Adrian Mateo at gmail.com. And make sure you put his
Cuties.com.
make sure that you put his phone number in there too, so he gets text message alerts. So when he's with his missus and he's put his phone down because he's cooking
rice.
You guys are
and
wrong.
pasta.
You guys
It's
are
going to go
wrong.
off. She's going to pick his phone up and go, "What's this for me, Harmony?" Oh, that's going to cause all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
Adrian, it's not chicks with dicks, it's dudes with tits.
It's his handle will be Sweet Baby Boy.
Oh dear. Oh,
Where we at?
I don't know.
delicious.
Okay.
He wouldn't have heard any of that because he would have put something in the chat there, do, as if he's paying attention, and then he'd just shut it down and go off and do what he was doing. You know, I was there, Jim. I heard everything.
Yeah, because we just got off the air data. And you know
Yeah.
something, Dre, that
Yeah.
second one, that sync app that they make you download and put that token on is the one I'm talking about, because it lets you can decide whether you want to sync 10 flights or the last 6 months, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like I say, when I use Litchi, it downloads automatically. I don't have to think about it. It just automatically uploads. But when I use Drone Deploy or like that, I have to remember to upload it right there as soon as I get done, or it may not sync up and post it to it most of the time. And the same thing is when I fly with the Go 4 app. If I don't remember to upload flights in DJI, that it in turn sends it over to Air Data, it might lose a couple flights. So I mean, what I do have are the ones I remember to upload or anything else.
Do you get rid of your recreational flights, or do you keep them for the hour? I mean, because
He doesn't have
you
any.
could download a CSV.
I haven't flew recreational in probably maybe a year, over a year, and I think the Air Data account I have now, I just started that just over a year and a few months. So that's the amount of flights I put in just over a year is over 100 something flights I put in.
I think that's
I've been trying to get rid of the junk that's on there so I could have it like you're aiming for.
Mm-hmm.
Just the.
No, so that's the fastest we've ever gotten rid of Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian's got other responsibilities. He wants to stay, but he can't.
Okay. He'd use any excuse, to be honest. He just,
no.
I'm tired. And you go, why don't you come on, Adrian? We used to go and sleep and just having the camera on you for the next week.
He's taking care of the milkman's baby. I mean,
no, he's not.
Taking care of the milkman's baby. Oh, that's so wrong.
It's so wrong, it's right.
It is. It is.
What is that, Dre? The Paramax?
It's a power conditioner. Basically, what it is, most of them of that caliber will have about 11 or 12 outlets in the back of them. That one plugs into your outlet, so everything plugs into that, and it has some of them. The outlets in the back are high-powered ones and everything else, but it filters out any noise and discrepancies that you have in your wiring in your house.
Like that sine wave stuff.
Right. I remember I used to have a setup here in my living room, and the microwave and the kitchen are on the same circuit. And when you use the microwave, I would get feedback humming noises when I'm listening to music in here. I hooked one of them things out. It took out that humming noise. This is sweet as it could be, man. So I have to worry about that kind of stuff. It takes out humming, cleans the power. It's also good to have. All right, man. It's always good to have when you have a HD type of TV, because you put it to the high power one and make sure your TV gets the full power all the time, which means all your little pixels are flashing on and off as it's supposed to be. You don't get no dead pixel areas.
You know what drives me insane is the way they're making these plugs now that have the power pack is on the plug that you have to plug in.
Yeah.
Especially for these drones, like the underwater drones. I don't have a power. Yeah, it's over there. I'm
But
not
you're
going
talking
to
about
get
the
it.
same thing with the Amazon sticks. You got the little big giant power plug that you get to plug in and stuff like that.
It takes up the
Yeah.
spot of 3.
It's a-
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
annoying.
Hey, I've just looked at my Go4 app. I hadn't looked at it for ages when it comes down to this shit. What have I got there? 1,228 flights,
Mm-hmm.
nearly 2,000 kilometers. Which
Oh,
is,
if you
I don't know,
you're looking at the DJI flight app,
yeah.
that has every time you turn that son of a bitch on, it's on there.
Only if you take off. That's why I don't connect it when I'm running down in the lounge room. It doesn't count as a flight on the app.
It's only when
'Cause
you
I-
take off.
Yeah, well, if I'm running a battery down the lounge, I don't take my iPad, right? I just take it off in the lounge, so it doesn't even go through this, so it doesn't count it.
Okay.
What have I got? 186 hours. 186 hours flight time in total.
Now,
Let me
see, I
see.
want to do what Dre's talking about: separate recreational from commercial,
Mm-hmm.
because there are some I've seen, Dre, that they want you to have like 100 hours commercial time. I'm just
Right.
popping a number out here, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah, like I said, I look at what Master. I have 83 hours and some change total flight time, distance 26,000 travel distance, flight times 557
26,000 what?
travel distance.
Miles.
What's it in there?
It's in miles. Is it
No, it wouldn't
miles
be
or
miles.
feet?
No, it
Miles
wouldn't
and
be miles.
feet. It's feet.
Okay, 26,000 feet.
Yes.
Okay,
What the hell is miles?
26,000 feet in meters. So that is
Divided by 3.
7,900 meters. 7,900 meters. Holy shit! I've got.
What's that under, Dre?
Under
My
your
logs?
your log.
My log section.
What's
Yeah.
my
'Cause
meters? 100,923.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
Oh, this is why too. Look at this. Now this pisses me off. Okay, I'm paying $15 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this, Dre. Plane
What-
limit 3,000 flights.
Right.
Justin, was that the
That's what mine is 3,000
things
flights.
on
Yeah.
the motors there to stop the props hitting the body?
Yeah, what are you showing us?
That was the Mini 2 I crashed.
Oh.
But see,
Yeah,
from
okay.
when you look at it, though, it doesn't really look messed up, but there's a crack there. The front leg has a crack in it.
Oh, I heard that snap.
I heard that.
And
Yeah.
then see the body.
Oh,
The body's coming off.
yeah, that's
Oh.
extra cooling vents there. Yeah.
So now you can lift under the hood, huh?
Well, and
Yeah.
then the camera.
Check the oil.
The camera was actually popped out of it, and I popped the camera back in, and it's
You should've-
moving okay. But when you do a calibration, it won't move side to
Okay,
side.
it's probably snapped the ribbon. So
You sure that's not the one that Donald destroyed on his video today?
No, and
it looks like it.
look, that's easy to do when you got tons of money to blow and you got a damn drone company. You can act like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty
Look,
sure
man.
when you turn when he thrashed. Hey Matt, what level are you at on your thing?
Oh, level. Let's have a look.
Dre, mine says miles.
Mine's in feet. Travel
Look at this.
distance.
Let's have a look.
See
No,
over here,
we're
total
not,
mileage?
no. I'm not in Air Data. I'm on the Go4 app like Matt.
Oh, the
is.
Go4 app. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
like Matt is. Yeah.
I'm not going to look at that. That's like
Yeah.
level 30 something or whatever.
Righto,
34,
let's have a
35.
I'm in
Yeah.
level 31.
31. Hang on. Let
Yeah.
me put this. It's tiny writing. I got to get.
That
I
will
gotta
actually-
go get me Dre's on.
I think that shows in the forum too, the DJI forum.
Penthouse
Mhm.
forum.
Your level, yes, the penthouse section of the
Always.
DJI forum. While I was
Okay.
flying, Matt, while I was flying my drone, she came up and caressed me with her propellers.
I couldn't believe she was actually into drones as well.
Dude,
Okay,
Matt,
so the
His sophistication level has just went through the roof with the glasses on. Good job.
Now he's cinematic. You can see
Yeah,
what the
like
hell
you
he's
say,
doing.
Justin, you get a certain age, it'll hit you overnight. It ain't a gradual thing. It's like
No.
overnight.
I hit
One
40.
day,
Bam.
one day you're looking 20/20, dude. And the next day is like, why does it look blurry over there?
How come I can't read that?
It
Mine's
just hit you,
all right.
dude.
Distance is fine with me. It's
Yeah,
it's
this is
starting to
fine here.
get
Up
hard.
close. Yep.
This shit here.
I can
sort
see
of-
the
I can still
video. If
read
I
it.
want to read the chat, I got to have these on. And so I just
Yep.
gotten used to wearing them.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Nice,
mine
no,
are
really.
progressives. So
Oh, that drives me nuts. I
Yeah,
tried to love
progressives?
bifocals.
I'll get
yeah.
to the answer.
Well,
in a
I don't
minute.
have a line in mine. I don't have no line.
Oh, you're
about that.
hilarious,
That's all.
Mike. You're fucking hilarious.
Locate the top.
No guy is wanting to hire somebody to locate the top of the light post for him.
No. Dre,
Yeah.
right. Level 40,
Okay. Yeah.
which is 3.356.967.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the hell that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, what
Top
Yeah.
distance.
I
Total.
saw a guy wanting to know in the forums. He was pissed
Mm-hmm.
because they don't tell you what does that number mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
I
knows
guess-
what that number means?
Yeah. That's why I went about the number. I look at the level because the number, like, they give you points for each amount of distance you fly or something. Because it was like, a point system or something.
Yeah, I heard it was when you were using autonomous modes and all sorts of shit that pumps your points up to. Oh, who gives a shit about points? I mean, I've been
Really?
what?
Really? There's different points for different modes?
I don't know, but that's what I heard somewhere along the line ages ago, and I just didn't pay much attention because I got no interest in it.
But
But
so
it
the
is
same thing for me is that when I'm not using the Go 4 app, I'm not getting points.
Right.
No,
You know.
it's like you're going to win a freaking teddy bear at the end of it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Go to Chuck E. Cheese and get me a skeet ball.
Yeah. But what I do like about it is it gives you your total amount of flights and your total distance and total hours in the air.
Mhm.
Now, you can break that down to every single drone. Like the Mavic 2 Pro has
Right.
got 379 flights at 878 kilometers.
See, but
And
then I went in with the big
65 hours.
scare.
Huh?
65 hours. I got in with the other people who were in the big scare, like we're giving away America or something like that by letting them see our records and all this shit. So for a while there, I wasn't uploading records, deleting records. Why? Why do they have our records? Originally,
I don't
was
know
never.
why this cloud thing.
Yeah, there was
I
no
don't-
FAA involved when this started.
No. Well, there you are. My Spark, 623 flights.
Ooh. I only got
So-
52 on my Spark.
And he never landed a single one of them.
I never what?
Landed.
So he never landed a single one of them.
You know what I wonder? I've never seen the tello on there. I guess the tello doesn't count.
Well, it does. No, hang on. Is the Tello on Go 4?
No.
No.
Because it is a Rise product in conjunction with DJI. I don't know what app they use to. I've never used one. I don't know what they use to fly, because you can fly those things. Same with the Spark 2. You can, and actually you can fly the Mavic Pro without the controller.
Here's the
Wi-Fi.
thing. The original Go app, I still use that for the Inspire and the Osmo Plus and the Osmo Pro. This thing, the camera.
Tomas, why are you welcoming him in?
Oh, what the fuck?
I hid the user and then Tomas welcomes him in. I don't think you
Delete him, will you?
I already removed him.
All right.
Well, I timed him out for 300 seconds, but if he comes back, I'll remove him.
What is this crap?
I disliking your videos.
Good
Idiot.
for you.
Dick. Well, I mean, he's making good points there, though, really.
That's just, I can't stand this shit anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
Nothing
that's a great
drives me
thing.
anymore.
Everybody in your chat's moderators, so you don't have to worry about it. They'll
Yeah.
get them.
Yeah, they'll leave them up there for you.
They'll leave them up there for you.
Yeah, I'm going to go, boys, because I've got to do
Yeah.
some shit today.
Let's
It's like
call
1:30. 1:30 in the Arvo. It's been absolutely fantastic.
I think everybody's
isn't
trying
going
to do the same thing I'm doing, getting rid of them. I'm hitting remove. And you guys are doing the same thing.
I can't even click on it anymore.
Well, I would time Matt out, but you keep giving him a blue wrench, so.
You got to remember, you come on my panel too, mate. You wait.
You know, this is probably a guy who knows nothing about anything about history and Hitler's rise to power from 1939. You know, knows nothing about what he's. I love those people. They're dumb. They show their breadth of knowledge.
Well, he's just trying to get a reaction out of you. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Needs a little German girlfriend. I had a little German girlfriend there for a while I was in Germany.
Imagine that.
Said 999.
Look at this. He was
No, I thought he was still on Filipino.com.
And I thought it was, she wanted the whole 9 there, so I gave it to her. But it was no. It means no. Apparently.
Well, isn't 9 in Australian centimeters? Or is it?
Oh, I think it's in meters, mate. It's in meters or feet.
There's no 10.
Oh, man.
All right. And
You
just
see you on call this night, bud?
I'm calling. I just have to report this guy.
I didn't unhide him, mate. Did I?
Yes, he did.
No. Did I?
It says
Oh,
he did.
by accident.
Sorry. I thought I blocked him from the channel.
No, you unhidden him.
No, what happens is sometimes multiple people will go to hide somebody, and they'll hit hide
cancel each
before
other
you.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you'll accidentally hit unhide by accident because you'll be doing it too quick.
Whoops.
Hey, Justin, what
I
clips
didn't
you
mean
got
to.
for me?
I have one almost done. I got to finish it. I'll send you some tomorrow.
Okay.
I've been working the last few days, so I hadn't had time.
Ain't nothing wrong, man. My guys like them. That one with the Spartans, they got all motivated. They's ready to go to work. That one.
Oh, the movies he makes?
Well, I take little movie clips, and he puts little titles on. He did one where the Spartans are marching, and they meet up with the other little rabble group, and they ask them, "What's your profession? What's your profession?" And they tell them, "I'm a sculptor," and I had them label them HR, payroll, engineers, and the main all the Spartans are the public works department. And he says, "Spartans, what is your profession?" They go, "Ooh." So I send my boys out to the field, pumped up, ready to go. Every Monday, 6:45 a.m. I got teaching class.
Really?
Yep, safety class every Monday.
Why? Is it new people?
No,
Or are these guys just that dumb?
no, it's just this is all part of OSHA, dude. You're supposed to have these, we call it tailgate meetings. We have a class.
He didn't catch that at all, man.
Yeah. See, Matt, if you work for me, you wear your little safety vest and your loose collar shirt, and
I'll be popping that collar, brother.
Yeah, and you be sitting in my class. And
Yep, and you know what?
This last week we talked about excavations and trenches.
Oh my God!
If I was in your class, you'd have to talk about STDs.
I don't know about that. That's off the clock activities.
And how powerful they can be.
Well, and actually, it goes into the conversation about workplace relationships. So
Yeah, you're right.
It's all together. It goes together.
No
I'll help you anytime, Dre.
What's that?
I said, Matt's not supposed to slap your ass when you do a good job. Apparently, that's frowned upon these days.
Oh man.
Rub your leg. All that.
My
Yeah.
hairs stand up when I'm in the pool and the kids rub my leg.
So now
Yeah.
he's digging the
Oh.
ditch.
This is the president of the United States.
I know. I know. It's
You got a little fetish going there, buddy, and you just told the country.
yeah. You know the cameras are rolling, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is
You're not
that a
with your
camera?
Yeah. You're not with your mates now, mate.
All right, boys. I'm famously ending the stream. You know how I do that? I just go drink.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. See you later.
Sound like it.
Like,
All right, we'll see you
See you
later.
just later on.
Catches. Bye bye.